go ahead, push the green button. Push it again. And I think that's it. Keep an eye on that. It's going to be Mark on the board tonight.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, Mark?
Good.
We're about 7 minutes until tip-off, but we'll also have the national anthem and starting lineups in there, so whatever works out for you, we're ready to go. Okay, you got, if there's a song playing, you want to finish it and then go, that's fine, or just whatever you want to do. That'll be perfect. Okay. Sounds good.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
we are. It's up and running. Does it say Columbus on there? Okay, yep, that's it.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody to Billy Fager Fieldhouse in the final two games of the night here at the St. Paul preseason tournament, where tonight the Lady Indians welcome in the Lady Titans from Columbus here into Billy Fager Fieldhouse. Lady Indians off to a perfect 3-0 start and probably played their best game of the year against Southeast last night, as they was really rolling on offense, creating points and being aggressive going to the basket offensively, and doing a good job of scoring there, and really played a well-rounded game, played good team basketball. I want to welcome back Mike. Mike's been out on the traveling man. Mike, you've been listening, and nice.
I have. That's a nice thing about this live stream, by the way. Catch us on the live stream if you want to and have a chance. Pull that up at hot1055.net on the internet. Bring you the KKOY website. Scroll down the page, find the St. Paul Indian banner. Click on that. It'll take you directly to the YouTube page. And there'll be a screen on there that says St. Paul versus Columbus with a little live box in the corner. Click on that. You'll have live stream, which I took advantage of, Dan, all week. You and Keith did a great job. I appreciate Keith filling in for me while I was gone. And some good games this week.
Yeah, been some real good games last night. In the last game of the night last night, St. Paul and Southeast boys, it was a barn burner where the Indians of St. Paul come out with a 1-point victory. Caleb Lemons give the Indians a lead as he drove to the basket. The Indians trailed by 2, but Lemons drove the basket, scored the layup, and was fouled, and had a 1-point lead with 7.1 seconds left to go. And the Indians able to hold on for that victory and stay perfect in the preseason tournament. Both Indian teams look to close out this round-robin tournament and try to keep the records perfectly clean in this tournament and come out with tournament victories here. We'll see how it works out. Two tough opponents coming up, the Columbus girls and boys, and we'll see how the Indians can fare.
Yeah, ladies coming in here 3-0. They've had a good start to the season, and like you said, from what I could see, looked good as they have all year last night, and hopefully they can keep that going into the break and then come out of there just as strong. But look forward to the boys' game as well. They shook off that first defeat they had of the year, that first game out, and were able to come back here and put some nice wins together.
Yeah, last night, honestly, the first three quarters, they looked pretty sluggish again, the Indian boys did. They looked They looked real good against Chitopa in the opening game of the preseason tournament last night against Southeast. A good Southeast team, very good Southeast team. They looked pretty sluggish the first 3 quarters, but they trailed by 10 starting that fourth quarter, Mike, and really just chipped away in that fourth quarter, really stepped up the aggressiveness and the energy and played real well down the stretch in that fourth quarter and come out with a victory.
Yeah, and that's nice to see them be able to come from behind like that. That builds a lot of confidence. And you know, the ladies, we're getting ready to watch them, and I think confidence is one of their strong suits. With that defense they've got, just suffocates the other team. And you know, that's always been their bread and butter. As long as Coach Tuck's been around, as long as we've been covering them especially, that's been really what they've, you know, put all their eggs in that defensive basket, and that gives them a chance on offense to stay close. And they've had to struggle through some cold shooting spells, and luckily that defense has kept them in some games, but they've got it all put together and working pretty well right now, both ends of the floor.
Yeah, honestly, the first 2 games of this preseason tournament has not been a match for the Indians at all. They had Southeast with 2 points at halftime last night, and Chitopa about the same as. So Coach Tuck, a lot of playing time for the 11 girls that suits up for varsity, and really getting a lot of playing time for each and every one of them. And the younger players, he probably at times wished he would suit all 15 girls up, because there would have been plenty of opportunities to play them all. But either way, irregardless, Lady Indians playing good. I know one of his concerns to start the season was consistency on offense, and I think he should be pretty pleased so far this year. Struggled a little bit at times against Galena, and a lot of teams are packing in and playing some type of a zone against the Indians, kind of daring them to shoot from the outside. Kind of been their Achilles heel in the past, and so far the Indians able to handle that zone defense.
Yeah, they've been really doing that, trying to contain Katie Coombs on the inside. The senior threat inside there for the Lady Indians has not had a lot of opportunities. Earlier last night, looked like she came around and was able to get some scoring opportunities, but that zone has really been something that they've had to work on getting past and try to work that ball inside.
Good crowd on hand for both Columbus and St. Paul as the stands start to fill up, and late night here tonight on a Friday night, but a good night to come out and watch some basketball JV tournament going on in the opposite gym across the hallway at the same time. So a lot of basketball in this gym this week, and it's always good, you know, after the preseason tournament and a couple games next week before Christmas break, and then we will roll right into the heart of basketball schedule.
Yeah, the St. Paul tournament's always a lot of fun for us to watch and for all the fans to watch, but it's also, I know, fun for the kids to be involved with and get to play, you know, all week, and especially play here at home. It's really nice not to have to travel and still get to play quite a bit.
Looks like we're getting set for the national anthem here as each team finish up their coach. We'll be back after this, a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here as we get set for starting lineups of each team. That's my daughter singing that, Mike.
She did a fine job. I couldn't see her down there, but whoever was singing did a good job. I'm proud of her.
As we are set, starting lineups for each team work tonight. St. Paul Lady Indians will play Columbus. Getting set for tip-off here, 8 minutes on the clock. As athletic director Mr. McCracken giving everybody the rules on how to behave here, so make sure you pay attention, Mike.
I know it. Sometimes I need that.
Look for this to be a good matchup. Both teams come in 2-0. Columbus perfect. They with a win over Southeast, and Chitopa just the same as St. Paul. Lindsey Davis, a junior for Columbus, gets the start for the Indians. Senior Taylor Watrick gets the start. Number 13, Dixie Layson, junior, gets a start for Columbus. And for the Lady Indians, number 14, senior Emily Hutcherson. Number 22, Gracie Sullivan, the senior, gets the start for the Titans. And for the Indians, sophomore Claire Bradshaw gets a nod for Coach Tuck and the Lady Indians. Number 32, Jade Omart, junior. And for the Indians, another sophomore, Emerald Struthers, coming off a great game the other night. Not so much in the scoring column, but her hustle really led the Indians. And center, Carson Youngblood, big good matchup for Katie Coombs, about this equal height. And senior Katie Coombs is the last Indian to be introduced as we are about set to get underway here. 8 minutes on the clock. Stands are filling up. It's a good night for basketball.
Here we go, championship game for this St. Paul tournament. Lady Indians in there again. They've been pretty solid in there.
You want to tell everybody how to get on the live stream, Mike?
Yeah, I'll tell them again, like in the opening when I told them that if you get on the Chanute KKOY website at hot1055.net, that's hot1055.net, that'll take you to the KKOY website. Scroll down the page to the St. Paul Indian banner. Click the banner, take you right to the YouTube channel. And right at the top, the first one you see should be St. Paul versus Columbus. If you click on that, hit the big screen, you have it right there on your TV. You'll have live coverage with our audio, and it's a lot of fun to watch that on live stream. We get a good live stream viewership too, Dan. We keep track of the numbers, and that's really something I know that gives a lot of people that aren't close enough to be here a chance to watch. Matter of fact, I got a text a while ago. I know of at least one group in Hawaii that's watching us tonight, so we'll have to make sure we do a good job for them.
As the tip is controlled and knocked out of bounds, let's see what they do. It's going to be out, I think, Columbus. Nope, it's going to be Columbus's basketball knocked out of bounds by the Lady Indians. Columbus with the basketball to start the ball game off. Number Layson with the basketball, feeds it up top to Davis. Davis dribbles, guarded out there by Claire Bradshaw. Back over to Layson. Layson guarded by Watrick. Watrick pulls away right, now feeds it off to Sullivan. Sullivan back to the right wing to Davis. Davis tries to drive the baseline. It's going to be a bump on Bradshaw, and that's going to be first team foul. First foul on Claire Bradshaw. Stuck her leg out a little bit on Davis and gets the call against Bradshaw. First foul on the Lady Indians. First foul on Claire Bradshaw. Columbus set to put the ball in play, lobs it over the top. Ball's loose, but Columbus comes out of there with it. Davis feeds it inside. Now back in Davis' head wing. Now try to bounce pass inside. Ball's loose on the floor. Struthers whips it back out top. Now Youngblood with it. She fakes the three, pulls it down, dribbles against Coombs. Coombs cuts her off. Now lob back into Youngblood. Tipped out of bounds by Katie Coombs, and it'll stay with Columbus. Layson fed Youngblood, but is knocked out of bounds by Coombs.
Columbus having a little trouble against that Lady Indians man defense so far.
Layson set to put the ball in play. It's going to be a foul on the Indians, so early 2 fouls on the Lady Indians. That may be on Katie Coombs, her first. It is first foul on Katie, second team foul on the Indians. 7:19 left to go in the first period, no score. That's a kick on Columbus. It goes all the way through the backcourt, out of bounds. It's going to be Lady Indians basketball. Everybody kind of looking around like
nice
it's going to be Lady Indians basketball under their own basket. Taylor Watrick set to put the ball in play for the Lady Indians. 7:14 left to go here in the first period. Watrick with the basketball, looking for somebody to get it into, feeds it into Struthers. Feeds it up over the top to Hutcherson. Hutcherson dribbles to the top of the key, reverses it back to Struthers, the baseline down to Watrick. Watrick dribbles towards the right. Cross-court pass over to Struthers. Back up top to Claire Bradshaw. Ball fake, drives into the lane. Layup, no good. High, out of bounds. A lot of contact. No foul called. And it's going to go back to the Titans. 6:56 left to go in the first. No score. Full court pressure applied by the Indians. Davis with the basketball. Feeds it ahead to Youngblood. Youngblood guarded out here by Coombs up by the timeline. Bounce pass inside. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. Indians having a little trouble getting a handle on it. It's had a couple chances. That pass was going into Omart, and Struthers knocks it out of bounds.
Struthers continuing that hustle you talked about.
Up top to Sullivan. Sullivan up top to Davis. Davis dribbles to the right against Claire Bradshaw. Right-handed down to the baseline. Tries a bounce pass. Saved in by Struthers. Ball's loose to Youngblood. Bounce pass inside. Gets loose. Hutcherson knocked to the floor. No call. Feeds it ahead to Watrick. Watrick, contact, and that's going to be a block on Columbus. And that's going to be on Sullivan, number 22, first foul on her. First team foul on the Titans. Watrick sets to put the ball in play for the Indians. Feeds it into Coombs. Coombs in the lane. Gets it blocked by Youngblood. Took her too long to get that shot off. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to be out on Columbus, and it'll go back to the Lady Indians. Turnover on the Titans. Hutcherson feeds it into Watrick. Watrick crosses half court with it. Sets the offense. Looks like a three, maybe a little bit of a box and one on Katie Coombs.
Box and one, yeah.
Hutcherson into the lane, shot up short, no good. Rebound Titans. Sullivan with it, whips it around to Davis at the right. Ball's loose on the floor. Claire Bradshaw, good hustle play by her. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow towards the Indians. Indians basketball, no score. 5:51 left to go here in the first period. 0-0. Indians trying to figure out this defense that the Titans is putting on. Youngblood tight on to Coombs. That's going to be a good matchup tonight, about equal in height and size. Watrick into the lane, tries to throw a shot up, gets it stripped out of her hands. Youngblood with the rebound, whips it back to Layson. Layson ahead to Davis. Davis looks inside at Sullivan, dribbles towards the baseline now, down the baseline, backside pass, layup, good. Put in there by Sullivan and gives the Titans a 2-0 lead. 5:18 left to go here in the first period. Bradshaw with the basketball, feeds it up top to Hutcherson. Back over to the corner to Watrick. Three-point shot by her, long, no good. Long rebound, and it's going to be Columbus basketball. And Elise Doherty checks in for Claire Bradshaw. Titans lead 2-0, 5:04 left to go here in the first period. Sullivan with the basketball, feeds it ahead to Davis. Davis to the right. Elise Doherty on her. Screen set. Now bounce pass into Youngblood. Tries to fight for position and gets there against Coombs and scores from the block. Katie Coombs unable to hold her position as Titans lead 4-0. Watrick with the basketball. Dribbles towards the top of the key. Swings it over to Struthers. Back up top to Elise Doherty. Hutcherson with it. Left wing. Looks inside. Now top of the key to Struthers. Struthers into the lane. Shot partially blocked. Gets her own rebound. Comes from out of bounds. Now ball knocked into the backcourt. In chase is Davis and Doherty. And it should be off of Davis and go back to the Indians. 4:16 left to go in the first period. 4-0 is the Titan lead.
Good hustle that time by Elise Doherty down there fighting for it.
Left wing to Doherty. Doherty cross-court pass over to Hutcherson. Hutcherson feeds it to Struthers. Struthers tries to lob it in Coombs. All kinds of traffic. Youngblood steals it away. Kicks it off to the right wing to Sullivan. Back up top to Davis. Davis holds it over her head. Now she kicks it off to Layson, and it's going to be another foul on the Indians. Third on them, none on Columbus.
There's one on Columbus. Should be. There was a foul on Sullivan earlier.
Layson set to put the ball in play for the Indians. First foul on Watrick. Third team foul on the Lady Indians. Layson feeds it in, and it goes back to Layson at left wing. Watrick picks her up, and it's going to be a foul underneath.
Wow. Yep.
All the contact on the other end, can't get a call, but they get one away from the basketball on this end. It's going to be the second on Katie Coombs. Fourth team foul on the Lady Indians. Coombs comes out. It's going to be a size advantage for into the backcourt. Josie Harris into the game, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. It should be off of Columbus and go to the Indians, and it does, as Harris checks into the ball game for Katie Coombs, who's picked up 2 early on fouls here. In the backcourt, pass to Watrick. Indians trail 4-0, held scoreless so far by this Titan defense. Harris with the basketball. Indians need to drive in there, try to get some contact. Pass inside to Bradshaw. Ball's loose on the ground. Columbus comes out of there with it. Omart with the basketball. Feeds it back to Sullivan. Sullivan picked up out there by Watrick. Screen set by Columbus. Almost a carry by Sullivan. Davis now with it. Davis guarded by Harris. Good defense by her. Feeds it to Youngblood. Youngblood dribbles towards the block. Loses it. Kicks it out. Sullivan with it. Ball's loose on the ground again. It's a little helter-skelter, but Columbus still has possession of the ball. Backdoor pass high out of the reach of Sullivan, and it goes out of bounds and back to the Lady Indians. Watrick with the basketball. Under 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 4-0. Columbus leads. Indians unable to get anything going offensively. They really haven't had any good looks at the basket yet. Drove it in a couple times, but apparently good hands by the Titans keep knocking it out of their hands. Bradshaw drives the baseline, spins towards the left wing. Watrick, ball fake, dribbles at the elbow all the way in, kicks it out to Harris. 3-point shot by her, long, no good. Backdoor rebound by Omart. Backside rebound by Omart. Kicks it out to Davis. Davis dribbles past Harris, knocks it out of bounds. It should be back to the Lady Indians as it goes out of bounds off of Davis. Indians defense doing their job. Offense just can't get anything going.
Can't get anything to go.
Taking 2 or 3 threes and unable to get anything to go on from the outside. And he's going to have to be aggressive going to the rim against Youngblood. Try to get her in foul trouble just like Coombs is already. Number 25 to the scorer's table, Fouts for the Titans. Harris, left wing, whips it back up top to Watrick. Watrick to Claire Bradshaw, right wing. 2 minutes left to go in the quarter. Bradshaw in, pull up jump shot, long, no good. And that's going to be a foul on Struthers. And that's Omart with the rebound. And that's the 5th team foul on the Lady Indians. First on Struthers.
St. Paul playing pretty aggressive, and that's been the problem with some of these fouls. They're getting some calls here early on.
Full court pressure applied by the Indians. Fouts into the game for the Titans. First sub of the night for the Titans. Fouts feeds it back to Layson, Back to Fouts. Tries to feed it inside. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Titans. 1:45 left to go in the first. Columbus leads 4-0. Bounce pass inbounds. Sullivan with the basketball. Lobs it inside to Youngblood. She's regained control over to the right block. Layup no good. Too long. Gets her own rebound. Put back good. Timeout. Coach Tuck. 1:29 left to go in the first period. Columbus leads 6-0. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. It's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. Indians trail 6-0 to the Titans. 1:23 left to go in the first period. Harris with the ball, feeds it up top to Struthers. Struthers off to Hutcherson. 3-point shot by her, way long, no good. Over the back foul on Youngblood. Should stay with the. Oh no, they're not going to call They're going to call that on
Called
Emerald
on
Struthers,
30.
and
Yeah,
she
they
had
did.
position on Youngblood. I do not understand that call. Second foul on Struthers. Sixth team foul already on the Lady Indians.
Indians got 6 fouls, no points. That's unusual.
And Fouts with the basketball. It's going to be a jump ball. Good hands by Claire Bradshaw. Tie up Fouts. It'll stay with the Titans on the possession arrow. Titans lead 6-0. 1:13 left to go in the first period. Looking to get it inbounds. Gets it into Fouts. Fouts bounce pass to Sullivan. Sullivan. Ball's loose on the floor. Struthers comes out there with it. Gets it to Bradshaw and then poked away from behind. Then Bradshaw back on the floor after it. And it's going to be out of bounds off of who? How's that stay with the Titans whenever she had the basketball and they call it out of bounds? Indians can't get much going here. Full court pressure applied by the Indians. 16 fouls. Going to have to be careful not to put Columbus in the bonus. Just need to play good, solid defense. Sullivan with the basketball guarded by Doherty. Dribbles right past Doherty all the way to the baseline. And a foul called on the Indians. Is that the second on Claire Bradshaw?
They're going to call that on Doherty.
It's going to be on Elise Doherty. And that's going to put the Titans to the line to shoot to 1-1.
Doherty had her hands on her back, but I don't know that it was anything unusual or out of the ordinary. But
Sullivan at the line to shoot the front end of a 1-1. 55.3 seconds left to go in the first period. She makes the first, give the Titans a 7-0 lead over the Lady Indians. Second foul shot is up and through there. 17 fouls on the Indians, 1 on the Titans. The refs are going to have to even the score here a little bit. We are at Billy Fager Fieldhouse, I think. Struthers up the top of the key with the basketball. Off the right wing to Doherty. Back up top to Sophia Albertini, who's in the game. Hutcherson left wing. She drives into the lane, about loses it, gets to Bradshaw. Bradshaw in. A lot of contact. No call made. Put back by Hutcherson. No good, but she's fouled. I understand the initiation by the contact not wanting to call a foul, but you can't let it all go. Youngblood ended up on the ground. On the putback, Hutcherson gets a foul call, so she goes to the line to shoot 2. See if the Indians can get on the board here in the first period, trailing 8-0. First free throw is short by Hutcherson. Indians unable to get anything going offensively. 17 fouls on the Indians, 2 on the Titans. Second free throw on its way and in there. So the Indians finally on the board here in the first period with 32.3 seconds left to go in the first. Looks to get inbound. Fouts with the ball. Feeds it off to Layson. She's pestered out there by Albertini. Feeds it back to Fouts. Picked up by Emily Hutcherson. Couple dribbles to her right, left. Tries to feed it up top. Slapped in the air by Struthers, but Sullivan comes out there with it. Sullivan against Albertini, and that's a double dribble, and it was on number 13, Dixie Layson. Double dribble as she looked to pass, seen she wasn't going to be open, so tried to hold it up, but by that time she'd already put 2 hands on the basketball. Fed to Bradshaw on the inbounds play. Bradshaw to the right to Doherty, down to the baseline to Struthers. Struthers in the lane, swatted away. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Titans lead 8-1. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're St. Paul basketball, Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. St. Paul trails 8-1 to the Titans. They have possession of the ball to start this second period. Indians held quiet tonight. They've been scoring 40, 50 points a game, so the Indians really struggling offensively. And I think the word is consistency on offense is what Coach Tuck. There's a swat to the head by Fouts. That's going to be a foul on her. Third team foul on the Titans. Just the third team foul. 7 on the Lady Indians.
Should be the second on Fouts.
It is a second on Fouts as Davis checks in for her. Emily Hutcherson set to put the ball in play, feeds it in to Taylor Watrick. Coombs back in the game playing with 2 fouls. She's going to have to be careful here. Elise Doherty with the basketball. Feeds it off to Watrick. Watrick with a couple ball fakes. Tight man-to-man zone defense applied by the Titans. Sophia Albertini feeds it into Coombs. Back out top to Hutcherson. Three-point shot, top of the key, no good. Rebound, Youngblood. Youngblood's played the entire way for the Titans. See if only just one sub come in the game for the Titans so far. Sullivan all the way down to the right side, or Layson, excuse me. See if the Indians' aggressive defense can start to wear the Titans down here. Played well so far tonight. Wide open at the top of the key is Layson. She didn't take the shot. And she feeds it off to Davis. Davis into Youngblood over the top of everybody. Ball's loose on the ground. And then right into the Titans' hands. Three-point shot right wing off the back iron. No good. Shot taken by number 22, Sullivan. Watrick, Coombs with the rebounds. Feeds it to Watrick. Watrick against Davis. Hesitates a couple times. Swatted out of bounds. Oops, saved back in bounds. Good save by the Titans. Davis with it. All the way down. She traveled and got away with it. Sullivan with it, bounce pass inside, shot no good. Rebound to Titans, everything going the Titans' way, pass inside, layup good. Indians not doing a good job of blocking out. Titans getting way too many offensive rebounds, and they lead 10-1. Lady Indians trail by 9 to the corner to Albertini, about throws it out of bounds. Does Hutcherson on the cross-court pass. Albertini able to save it back in. Back into Hutcherson, into the lane, shot up no good, and it's going to be a block, and that was a flop, and Albertini's going to go, or excuse me, Hutcherson's going to go line and shoot 2. Youngblood with the foul. 14 foul on the Titans, first on Youngblood. Hutcherson settles into the line to shoot 2. 6:03 left to go in the second period. Titans lead 10-1. Hutcherson's first foul shot is right up and through there as Harris, Struthers, and Bradshaw all check in for Watrick, Albertini, and Doherty. Indians over from three-point land here tonight. Have probably taken more three-pointers than they have two-pointers yet so far, as Hutcherson with the only.
Yeah, they're over from 2.2.
Struthers, what's she doing? She tries to inbound it for the other team, but anyway, it works all right as the Indians line.
You never know, you might get away with one.
10-3. Indians trail by 7. Titans basketball, full court pressure. They get it inbounds to Sullivan, and it's a steal by Indians. Feeds it back to Bradshaw, does Coombs all the way to the rim, and that's going to be a block on her too. And number 13, Layson. Titans really trying to draw some fouls, but I'm telling you what, that was a good hard drive by the Indians. Did not have position, and they're trying to draw the, I hate to use the terminology, but the flop method.
Yeah.
Bradshaw makes the free throw. 10-4. Indians trail by 6. Indians, majority of their points has come from the foul line here. Well,
all of them.
Lately, all of the points has come from the foul line as they've been more aggressive going to the basket. In and out, no good. Indians still trail by 6, almost a steal. That could have been a reach on Bradshaw. Coombs knocks the ball loose, feeds it back to Bradshaw. Coach for Columbus not happy. A little contact there. Thought they should have got a call. Hutcherson with the basketball. Dribbles towards the top of the key. Claire Bradshaw left wing with the basketball. Dribbles to the elbow. Bounce pass back up top to Struthers. Now back into Bradshaw against Youngblood. Shot up. Short. No good. Hutcherson with the rebound. No good. Rebound Youngblood. 5:18 left to go in the second period. 10-4. 6-point lead for the Titans. Timeout. Columbus will be back after this 30-second timeout. You're with St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Hey, Larry, make it a 1 minute, please. Larry. Mark, sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Sorry, Mark. Everybody on the live stream, I just called our A#1 board op the wrong name.
Wouldn't made our board man mad. Now we're in trouble.
I didn't call you Cody anyway. Thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. The Indians are in a battle here tonight. They trail 10-4. It hasn't been no offensive juggernaut by the Indians so far for sure.
Any fight, really.
All points coming off of free throws. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. 5:16 left to go in the second period. 10-4. Columbus leads. 17 fouls on. Ooh, that's going to be a foul on Katie Coombs. She just picked up her third foul. She got tangled up with Youngblood.
Trying to get out of the way.
Smart.
More than anything, I think.
When you know you have two fouls, you're going to pick up the three, and you're going to end up on the bench.
Yep.
As Coach Tuck tells her that as we speak. Somebody else needs to play a little more aggressive other than the one that already has two fouls and doesn't need a third. Youngblood goes to the line to shoot front end 1-1, and she makes the first. You got to know what situation you are in with fouls and stay in the game if you can when you have a size advantage as it is now. 5:10 left to go in the second period. 12-4, 8-point lead for Columbus. Indians has dug themselves a hole in this first quarter and trying to get out of it. Struthers loses it, throws it out of bounds. Turnover on the Indians. And it could have been a double dribble as Struthers drives into the center of the lane. Got away with the double dribble, but kicks it out of bounds. 18 fouls on the Indians. They continue on the full court press. Lob over the top to Youngblood. Layup good. Emerald Struthers with the task of guarding Youngblood fronted her, and they lobs it clear over the top. Shot by Claire Bradshaw. No good. Knocked out of bounds by Struthers. And it's going to go to the Titans. 14-4, 10-point lead for the Titans. They have the Indians' numbers so far here tonight. Number one in the game, Jones, Carrie Jones. The Indians has dug themselves a hole where they have Columbus in the bonus. Now a pass stolen away by Hutcherson. She feeds it right over the head of Josie Harris and out of bounds as Harris and Watrick was both behind Columbus. And the Indians just can't do anything right so far here tonight.
No, they're trying to force things to happen now, and that's causing them more problems.
This has happened on occasion with the Indians last year where they would look good for 2 or 3 games in a row and then all of a sudden look horrible. And that's how they look so far here tonight, where they get aggressive and get way too many foul calls. 18 fouls into the lane as Davis, a lot of contact there. Ball's loose on the ground, knocked out of bounds. And that was out on Youngblood, where it doesn't seem like on a night like tonight you can get any call to go your way, although that one just did because I believe that was out on Struthers.
Yeah, and you know, I've got Columbus down with 12 turnovers, and the Indians have 0 points off of those turnovers.
No fast break points. All their points from the free throw line. Not a field goal yet from the field. Watrick in the corner with the basketball. In this zone, they're having a lot of trouble. They go into there's a three-pointer by Claire Bradshaw, long, way off, no good. Davis with the rebound for the Titans. Steal from behind, now the ball's loose. Holy cow, how can that not possibly be a foul? And then Watrick jumps in there and ties her up. It's a jump ball. And boy, they're not happy, which I'll be honest with you. Emily Hutcherson took an elbow to the nose as the ball was loose. And it's going to be Columbus basketball on the jump ball as Taylor Watrick seen Hutcherson take an elbow to the nose, so she just dove right in there on top of the ball and tied it up. Possession, Columbus. Feed into Youngblood. Youngblood all the way in, shot up, tough shot, no good as Elise Doherty ends up on the ground. The backside rebound by number 24. She scores.
Foul on
Monroe, and she is fouled and makes the basket and will go to the line to shoot to end one.
It is on Struthers. That's her third.
Emerald Struthers just picked up her third foul. 19th foul on the Indians. Monroe at the line to shoot to and one, and it's right through there and good. 17-4, 13-point lead for the Titans. Does not look like it's going to be the Indians' night here tonight at all.
It's not looking good right now for sure.
3:40 left to go here in the second period. 17-4. Titans lead by 13. Hutcherson picks up her dribble, bounce pass into Bradshaw, into traffic. She's going to get called for the double dribble. And another turnover on the Lady Indians gives it right back to the Titans. Indians stay in this full court pressure. They already have 9 fouls. There's another foul on Claire Bradshaw, and that's going to send Youngblood to the line. Shoot double bonus. At some point in time, you're going to have to back out of this and just try to get to halftime before you foul everybody out in the first half. Second on Bradshaw, 10th team foul on the Lady Indians. Youngblood goes to the line to shoot 2. Makes her first. 10 team fouls on the Lady Indians, 5 on the Titans.
Youngblood perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
Second free throw on its way, and misses the second out of bounds. And it's going to be off of Claire Bradshaw and stay with the Titans. Could have been the overback call, but it wasn't. Instead, it's out of bounds on the Indians again, so it'll stay with the Titans as the Indians unable to get anything going. Feed inbounds, knocked out of bounds by Hutcherson as the Indians continue to hustle. They trail by 14, 18-4. Look to get inbounds, could be a 5-second. They get into Youngblood. Bradshaw needs to stay on her feet, kicks it back out, shot on the way. Gets the roll, is number 22, Sullivan. And the Titans lead by 16, 20-4. 3:09 left to go in the second period. Hutcherson with the basketball, feeds it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw right wing, dribbles towards the elbow, kicks it out to Elise Doherty, over to Harris. Harris down to the corner to Watrick. Watrick with the basketball, ball fake, feeds it up top to Hutcherson. Everybody standing outside the three-point line for the Indians, so if you're not making shots, there isn't going to be any rebounds. Cross-court pass to Watrick, three-point shot on the way, good. Finally, somebody makes the shot, and it's Taylor Watrick, and takes the Titan lead to 20-7. Layson with the basketball. It's a carry. Got away with it. Kicks it to Davis. Three-point shot of hers. No good. Out of bounds. Off of Bradshaw. It was off of Bradshaw's hands. As it goes out of bounds and stays with the Titans. Count is on. Trying to get it in bounds is Titans. Finally, Hutcherson saves it in bounds. Ball's loose on the ground. Tie up by Bradshaw with fouls, I believe. Nope, Monroe. And a possession error goes back to the Lady Indians.
That was a good move by Hutcherson, and knowing where she was out on the floor, get thrown back in, just went to the wrong team.
Hutcherson with the basketball for the Lady Indians. 20-7, 2:12 left to go in the second period. Columbus leads by 13. Elise Doherty with the basketball, feeds it back to Watrick. Watrick with a couple ball fakes, cross-court pass. Hutcherson, long three-point shot, way off, no good. Out of bounds, it goes back to Columbus. 20-7, 13-point lead for the Titans. Now the Indians kind of back off the pressure a little bit. And that's going to be Sullivan with the basketball, kicks it back up top to Layson. Layson dribbles around the screen, feeds it in, and it's going to be a foul on Bradshaw. Third foul on her. That's going to send Monroe to the line to shoot 2. How many Indians have 3 fouls, Mike?
Bradshaw, Struthers, and Coombs.
As Sophie Albertini comes to the scorer's table. Monroe's first free throw is right in there. Crawls over the rim, is good. Back up to a 14-point lead for the Titans. 3 Indians with 3 fouls each. About the 12th team foul on the Indians, just 5 on the Titans. So the Indians in all kinds of trouble early on here in the first half. Second shot is well short. It'll go back to the Lady Indians. They trail by 14, 21-7. 1:41 left to go here in the second period. Watrick with it, over to Hutcherson. Hutcherson up to Albertini, over to Harris. Harris, top of the key, reverses it back to Emily Hutcherson. Hutcherson, the baseline, contact, shot goes, and she's fouled.
There's a good move.
And that foul is on number 24, Bailey Monroe, the junior. 6th team foul on the Titans, just first on Monroe. Hutcherson goes to the line for the and one. It's good, 21-10. Indians trail by 11. Davis with the basketball for the Titans. 1:22 left to go in the first. Indians need to try to hold Columbus here and see if they can get a couple more scores before halftime. Davis picks up her dribble, gets it off to Monroe into the lane, and that's going to be a double dribble on Monroe, and turnover goes back to the Indians. 1:10 left to go here in the second period. 21-10. Columbus up by 11. Watrick crosses half court with the basketball. Just over a minute left to go. Now right at 1 minute left to go. Albertini with the basketball over to Harris. Harris looks inside for Hutcherson. Dribbles to her right. Bounce pass to Watrick. Watrick with a ball fake out to Doherty. 3-point shot by her. No good. And that's going to be Albertini with a foul, and that's going to send Monroe to the other end to shoot 2. Not a smart foul by Sophia Albertini, as that stops the clock, sends them to shoot 2. Monroe at the line to shoot 2, 21-10, an 11-point lead for the Titans. Monroe trying to extend the lead even more. Her first free throw is on its way and right through there. 22-10, 12-point lead for the Titans. Monroe's second shot is on its way and good. Back up to a 13-point lead. 45 seconds left to go here in the first half. Indians can't wait to get to the locker room to get this one over with. The half, that is. See if they can make some adjustments here at halftime. Watrick behind the back dribble, picks up her dribble, feeds it to Hutcherson in the lane, gets it stripped right out of her hands by Sullivan. Don't foul, and they do exactly that.
Wow.
And guess what? Columbus is going to the line to shoot and yet 2 more free throws.
That was on Watrick. That's her second.
Second foul on Watrick. 40-17 foul in the first half on the Indians.
I'm going to run out of room for marks over here.
And her free throw is right up through there. I'd like to see how many points of the 24 the Titans have in free throws. Layson, second free throw is on its way. Long, no good. Watrick with the rebound, tries to come down with it. Tie up, jump ball. As she turned to dribble, Layson standing right there, knocks it out of her hand, and guess what? The position arrow points towards Columbus.
Yep. No.
Indians cannot get out of their own way in this half. 24-10, 14-point lead for the Titans. Davis up top with the basketball, guarded out there by Harris. I don't know if you remember right, Mike, but last year I think the tournament went exactly the same way. Indians coming into the tournament 2-0, and Columbus beats them. Youngblood shot no good, and there you go, folks. It's into the first half. Indians in all kinds of foul trouble, and they trail 24-10 here in the contest. We'll be back with your halftime show after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse, where St. Paul trails Columbus 24-10 in the first half of basketball here in the final girls game of the preseason tournament. Been a pretty rough first half for the Indians, Mike.
It's been awful rough. Lady Indians just absolutely zero offense other than a few free throws, and they finally late in the second quarter were able to get a couple of buckets to fall, but by then Columbus had already done the damage. And if there's a bright spot in the first half for the Lady Indians, I would say some of their defense, but that's also been a little bit of an Achilles heel, because the result of that aggressive defense has put Columbus at the free throw line and really got the Lady Indians in their biggest problem, which is foul trouble, with three of the ladies with 3 fouls just in the first half alone. So that Indian defense has been their strength, but if things don't go right on the other end of the floor, this is what can happen.
Been a pretty rough start offensively, as Mike will go over stats here in just a minute, full game stats and individual stats. Just 2 field goals in the first half by the Lady Indians. Rest is free throws. Columbus also a lot of trips to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Is against that man-to-man for the Indians, running a good motion offense and getting contact, getting the foul calls, and getting to go to the line. You often wonder, Mike, against a team like Columbus with young blood who's really wreaking havoc on the inside for the Indians rebounding, you just ever wonder, and I know this just doesn't happen, if Coach Tuck ever considers going to some kind of packed-in zone like other teams do to the Indians and dare them to shoot from the outside. It hasn't happened to this point, but it sure would be curious, and it sure would be interesting if any Indians would surprise someone, come out in that zone, and then try to maybe get some rebounds. The problem is offensive rebounds by Columbus, and then on the other end, they're playing a 4 game against that zone. When the Indians put up a shot, there's absolutely no rebounding by the Indians inside to get more than one opportunity at the basket.
And that's what, and you mentioned it too in the call when we were watching it down there, and they had the ball and had some opportunities. They were all 5 of the Lady Indians were all outside the lane for sure, and most of them outside of the 3-point line, even throwing the ball cross-court passes and working it around, but absolutely no one inside. So obviously, if shot goes up, the chances of getting somebody in there for an offensive rebound are slim to none when no one's able to get inside and do anything to protect that lane. But, give Columbus some credit. They're playing a good game. They got a good game plan. But I'm like you. I'd like to see maybe at least give it a shot with the zone defense. I think if we look back, I'm not sure, we may have seen 1 or 2 times in the time we've been calling the Lady Indians that there was a zone, and I think we asked about those, and Coach Tuck said, well, I never did go to a zone. So I think that man defense, you live or die by it, and in a game like this, when you can't put any points on the board, it's not going to go your way.
Now, I don't think the defense is a problem, although lack of offense sometimes leads to some frustration fouls, and that did seem to be the case a little bit in the first half. Girls playing hard, nothing against that, out there playing fluid and hard.
They are playing hard and aggressive.
The problem is they're 2 for, I'll give you a little sneak peek, they're 2 from 19 from the field, shooting 10%, Mike. You're not going to win very many games.
No, that's not going to get it done.
You shoot 10% from the field. Now, granted, they only had 19 shots in the first half, and they're only shooting 65% from the free throw line. But Mike will have all the first half stats after this last 2-minute timeout of the half. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here in St. Paul, Kansas, where the Lady Indians trail 24-10. Mike, what do you got for first half stats?
Yeah, picking up where you left off, Dan, talk about the shooting woes of the Lady Indians. As you mentioned, they were 2 of 19 from the field, shooting 10%. Not going to get it done. They were only 1 of 11 from 2-point, not much better, 1 of 8 from outside the three-point arc. The only thing that saved them and even kept them within any kind of reach of this game was at the free throw line, where they were 5 of 8. So shooting 62% from the free throw. You like to see a little bit better than that, but you know, if you're going to find a bright spot, the free throw shooting, when they did get a chance, they took advantage of that as much as they could, shooting 5 of 8. But individually for the Lady Indians, they were led by Emily Hutcherson, who had 6 points. Most of those came from the free throw line. She was 4 of 5 on free throws, 0 for 3 outside 3-point. She did have a field goal, the only field goal of the first half for the Lady Indians, the inside 2-point range. So Emily was 6. Taylor Watrick had 3 points for the Lady Indians. That was her lone shot that she took, and the lone one that she made in the first half was that 3-pointer. Actually, she was 1 of 2. Take that back. She had another 3-pointer that couldn't get to fall. And then Claire Bradshaw with 1 point. Claire did a lot of shooting. She was really struggling. She was trying her best to get in there and make things happen, just really having trouble getting things to fall for her. So Lady Indians really struggling. We've talked about that and how that's going. Now, turnover-wise, if you look across the board for the Lady Indians, I've got them with 10 turnovers as compared to 13 for Columbus. Now, Coach Burke sends us up some stats to look at. He had Columbus, I think, with a couple less than that, but the net result is St. Paul's winning the turnover game. They just can't put any points on the board as a result of those turnovers.
The stat that really sticks out to me, Mike, is 19 field goals, and when you hear this one, you'll understand the stat that sticks out to me is Indians had 5 total rebounds in the entire first half, 3 offensively and just 2 defensive rebounds.
Can't get anything done like that. I mean,
you're going to get one shot at the basket on your end of the court, and obviously you're giving Columbus multiple shots at the basket on their ends with just 2 defensive rebounds. Either that or Columbus is shooting so lights out, and that has not been the case.
Right. You know, the thing of it is, too, that man defense is really effective when they've got the ball outside and out front. But if you're not in there getting rebounds, you can have the toughest man defense you want outside, but just keep letting them shoot. Sooner or later, the ball's going to start falling. So you need to get some rebounds going.
8 minutes on the clock. We're set to get underway here in the third period. On the floor for the Indians. Indians will start with possession of the basketball. Emily Hutcherson, Taylor Watrick, Elise Doherty, Josie Harris, and Katie Coombs. So a little different lineup. Indians Coach Tuck trying to keep everybody a little bit out of foul trouble. Struthers and Bradshaw starts on the bench here. Hutcherson in the lane, shot up, no good. She's fouled. She's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Trying to set up some offensive plays is what it looks like there. They'll give and go, sending Emily Hutch down the lane. Put her at the line. She's been the hot hand from the free throw line. So
Omar, the junior, with the foul. First foul on her. First team foul on Columbus in the second half. Hutcherson at the line to shoot 2. First free throw in and out. No good. As she settles in for her second. It's on its way and in there and good. 24-11, 13-point lead for the Titans. The Indians back off the pressure a little bit. Just straight up man-to-man pressure. Lobbed over the top of Watrick's head. Gets over to Layson. Layson dribbles to the left. Screen set by Davis. Layson above the timeline. Ball's loose on the floor. Josie Harris ahead to Hutcherson. Hutcherson on the breakaway. Layup. No good. Rebound comes out to Hutcherson. In front of the rim. Putback no good. Katie Coombs fouled on the putback. So Hutcherson misses the layup. Gets her own rebound. Misses the putback, but Katie Coombs there to get the rebound, and she's fouled. Second foul on Sullivan. Second team foul on Columbus. Coombs goes to the line to shoot 2.
Coombs and Hutcherson seniors coming out here trying to take on the load.
First free throw up and good. Excuse me.
Puts Katie on the board.
Katie Coombs been held quiet tonight. Got in foul trouble early and just unable. Well, everybody's been held pretty quiet so far tonight as Coombs settles in for a second. But it's a new half, folks, so it's going to turn around as she misses her second. So Indians already got 2 points way faster. Shot up by Sullivan, no good. By Sullivan. Rebound, Katie Coombs. Watrick with the basketball. She kicks it out to Harris. Jump stop, Bounce pass into Watrick. Left-handed layup shot, no good, but she's fouled. So the Indians are already more aggressive and getting more calls this half as Watrick goes the line to shoot two. Good pass by Harris. Looks like she could have got whistled for a travel.
You look where their shots are coming from this half. All of them are in around the basket. I like to see that.
Watrick's free throw up and through there. Indians already 3 trips to the free throw line this half, and we're not even a minute into the third quarter. Watrick settles in for a second. 11-point lead for the Titans. 1 for 2 is so far the free throws shooting. Indians 3 for 6 here in the third quarter in the first minute. Into the corner, Sullivan dribbles back up top, loses it for a minute. That's going to be a foul on Harris as she was too late trying to get in the passing lane to Layson. That's going to be the first team foul on the Indians this half. First on Josie Harris. Columbus gets the ball in play, feeds it in to Youngblood in the lane, tied up by Harris. Jump ball, possession arrow stays with the Titans. As help defense from Harris into Coombs as Coombs playing with 3 fouls. Bounce pass inside, wide open shot, no good. Katie Coombs fights for the rebound. It's loose on the ground. Davis for the Titans come out there with it. Feeds it to Youngblood, and she's going to be fouled by Coombs. She just picked up her 4th foul. She was way underneath the basket, just threw something up, and she got the call. And that's going to bring Coombs out of the game. She picks up her 4th foul in the first minute and 10 seconds as she looks in dismay as Youngblood goes the line to shoot 2. Her first free throw in and out, no good. As Struthers checks in with 3 fouls. Sometimes you're just in certain situations where it doesn't matter if you foul or not. It's just the simple fact of how it looks.
Yeah.
And they're going to give the call, especially in high school basketball. 25-13, 12-point lead for the Titans. The Indians just need to chip away at this. Going to have to do a better job shooting free throws. Struthers with the basketball out to Harris. Feeds it to Doherty. Shot on the way. Short, no good. Youngblood with the rebound. 6:22 left to go in the third. 25-13. Davis with the screen. Layson still with the basketball. Pestered out there hard by Taylor Watrick. Kicks it up top finally to Sullivan. Sullivan against Hutcherson. Feeds it up to Layson. Layson into Youngblood. Drives all the way past everybody. Shot up no good. Struthers with the rebound. Struthers needs to slow things up. Feeds it ahead to Doherty. Now to Hutcherson. Hutcherson in the corner with it. Behind the back dribble to the baseline. Jump shot on the way. Good.
Got the roll.
It bounced off of every side of the iron it could and finally made its way through. 10-point lead for the Titans. Down to the corner to Sullivan. Sullivan.
That's double dribble.
Gets it into Omart. Omart guarded by Doherty. There's another double dribble, and it's going to be a backcourt. No, it's not. It's going to go loose. Hutcherson picks it up. Hutcherson all the way in. Tries to dish it. Gets it to Watrick. A lot of contact. No foul call. Shot from the baseline by Watrick. No good. Youngblood comes down with it. Sometimes you wonder, Mike, people end up on the floor because of all the contact. There's no call, and then you get Katie Coombs with her 4th foul.
Just standing there in the wrong spot.
That didn't hardly touch anyone. Either way, and here we are underway. Sullivan with the basketball. Kicks it to the right wing to Layson. Layson towards the baseline. Bounce pass into Youngblood in traffic. Shot up, no good. Gets her own rebound, put back good. Doherty didn't get her blocked out. And it back up to a 12-point lead. Albertini and Bradshaw to the scorers table for the Indians. 4:38 left to go in the third. Hutcherson with it. Feeds it to Watrick. 3-point shot way off. No good. Rebound. Sullivan for the Titans. Not a good shot selection by the Indians that time as it is well short.
A little bit of a hurry that time.
Layson with the basketball for the Titans. Feeds it back to Youngblood. Stolen away by Struthers. Struthers feeds it ahead to Hutcherson. Hutcherson right-hand layup. Good. A little bit off balance. Got it to go. Timeout. Titans. 30s. Nope. Full timeout. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. 4:09 left to go in the third. Columbus leads 27-17 over the Indians. Davis feeds it back to Sullivan. Sullivan picked up out there by Hutcherson. Crosses half court with it. Feeds it to Fouts, who's into the game now. Fouts dribble. Oh, she just walked, and she got whistled for the walk. Good defense by the Indians to create the turnover on the Titans. Indians basketball off the turnover. Hutcherson with the basketball. Zone defense. Looks like a 2-3 zone where the bottom three stretched way out wide. Bradshaw with it. Feeds it over to Albertini into Struthers. Ball fake shot in front of the rim. In and out. No good. Indians have nobody in there to rebound. They just getting better looks at the basket this half. Just can't quite get them to fall. And out of bounds off of Fouts right through her hands. She's going to come out of the game as number one. She's going to check in Jones for her. Back to the Indians. Bradshaw feeds it into Hutcherson. 3:33 left to go in the third period. 27-17. Titans up by 10. Into Struthers again. About to jump too soon. All the way to the right. Kicks it out to Albertini. Over to Harris. Up top to Hutcherson. Hutcherson to the elbow. In the lane. In through traffic. No good. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to be off on Struthers. And it'll go back to the Titans.
Boy, Hutcherson sure snaked her way through about three defenders and made a nice shot. Just a little bit off balance when it went up.
Taylor Watrick back into the game for Josie Albertini. Oh,
Josie Harris.
Josie Harris. I caught myself after I said it.
I knew you did.
Sullivan with the basketball, guarded by Hutcherson. Oh, my. Into the lane. There's a foul. Who's that going to be on? Sophia.
Yeah.
Albertini, I think.
And it is.
It is. Third team foul on the Indians.
Second on Sophie.
Second on Sophie. It'll stay with the Titans. 3:04 left to go in the third. 27-17. Indians need to do a good job defensively here. Watrick ends up on the ground. Davis lob in, and it's stolen away by Hutcherson. Hutcherson rifles it ahead to Watrick, who gets it to Struthers in traffic, loses it out of bounds, and it goes right back to the Titans. Indians fight so hard to get a defensive stop and don't even get a shot at the basket. Good hustle by the Lady Indians, just couldn't stay under control. Sullivan with the basketball, feeds it off, now lob inside again to Youngblood, knocked out of bounds by Claire Bradshaw. Just need to, that was too high anyway. Claire should have just grabbed it with two hands, slaps it out of bounds. It stays with the Titans. That's exactly what Coach Tuck just told her. Just jump up and catch it. As they look into Youngblood, it is Jones with the basketball, cross-court pass, three-point shot by Sullivan, good.
Sullivan got the hot hand.
30-17, back up to a 13-point lead for the Titans. 2:26 left to go in the third. Hutcherson with the basketball, and the ball's loose, and Sophia Albertini in collision between her and Davis. Should be a foul on Davis, I believe.
Nope, called on Sophie.
Gosh,
She's
you're
going
kidding
for the
me.
ball. I don't know how
They did
that can.
call that on Albertini. Are you kidding me? Coach Tuck. Now they're going to get together. There's no way that was on Sophie Albertini. If you're watching on the live stream, you've probably seen it about a second ago. There's no way that was on her.
I'd like to run it back for you and show it to you.
And they're going to end up calling.
Yep, they're going to give it on Sophie.
And Davis was the one that cut under Albertini as the pass was going to her. And they're going to stick with the call.
I don't think anybody else saw it from their side of the floor because this guy here, yeah, this way goes, I guess. That's Sophie's third now.
Albertini with 3 fouls, 14 fouls on the Indians. 2:19 left to go in the third period. Hutcherson with a lot of pressure on Sullivan. Pass inside, loose on the ground, and it's going to be out of bounds on the Indians. It'll stay with the Titans. Every hustle play that the Indians go after, he ends up going the opposite direction. Carrie Jones with the basketball. Throws it away. Hutcherson with the basketball. Feeds it cross court to Watrick. Left-handed layup. Good. And a foul. It is. And a foul as they count the bucket.
Pushed her down, I think, as she come down. It's going to be on Jones, maybe.
And it is an and one. Watrick, and I missed that one.
Yeah.
I missed the whistle and everything.
Well, she came down and got pushed into the wall there as she was coming down from the shot.
Watrick makes this left-handed layup. 30-19, 11-point lead for the Titans. Watrick settles into the line, in and out, no good. Youngblood with the rebound. Sullivan with the basketball. Feeds it to Layson. Layson dribbles to the right, guarded by Doherty. She gets around her, now steal by Bradshaw. Bradshaw, now Davis with the tie-up. One dribble, and everybody's hands always in the right place for the Titans, and the Indians, all their aggressiveness. Watrick would set to put the ball in play to Bradshaw. 1:46 left to go in the third period. 30-19, 11-point lead for the Titans. Watrick feed into Doherty. Shot in front of the rim. Too hard. No good. Youngblood with the rebound.
That was a good pass into Doherty.
One shot and a defensive rebound, and it goes right back to the Titans. As that is the problem here tonight, is the Indians' field goal percentage is just pathetic. Slapped away by Doherty. Davis now with it. She double teamed, throws it over the. How do they give him a timeout when the ball's in the air? It was a cross-court pass. Nobody had the basketball, and they awarded the Titans a timeout. I don't know that I've ever seen that in my life.
Okay.
As the Lady Indians look in dismay, and Coach Tuck is in dismay. That ball was on the opposite side of the court. She went to make a cross-court pass. It was in the air, and the whistle blows, and I thought, what happened? Was they going to call a foul? And they award the Columbus coach a timeout. We'll go ahead and stay here. 30-19 is the Columbus lead. They lead by 11 and are going to retain possession of the basketball.
Maybe we're just not used to seeing that called that way. I think maybe they call it that way. That's the only thing I can think of. I've never seen it either. What?
Coach Tuck with a little smirk on his face like, you got to be kidding me. Lob inside to Youngblood, swatted away, but it ends up in Fouts' hands, or Monroe, excuse me. Right back. Indians could have had a turnover, and instead it ends up lights Sullivan back to Davis into Columbus hands to Youngblood. Youngblood ball over her head. Guarded by Struthers, dribbles towards the elbow, kicks it out to Davis, three-point shot, no good. Struthers with the rebound. Now slow down a little bit, let's get a good offensive possession. Lob ahead to Hutcherson, whips it back out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw into the lane, shot up, no good. Gets her own rebound, put back, no good, but she's fouled. Good balance by Claire Bradshaw. She went in, had a lot of contact, somehow got her own rebound, still in traffic, got a second shot back up, and she's fouled. 30-19, Columbus up by 11. Bradshaw at the line to shoot two. First free throw in and out, no good. St. Paul is not going to crawl back into this game if they can't make a free throw, because that seems to be the only way that they can score tonight is going to the free throw line, and they are shooting about 50% this half. Now less than that as Bradshaw messes her second. And that's going to be out on Youngblood and stay with the Lady Indians. 30-19, 11-point lead for the Titans. Watrick with the basketball. Feed into Hutcherson to Struthers. Whips it up top to Doherty. Back to the corner to Watrick. Cross-court pass to Bradshaw. Bradshaw, right wing to Struthers. Three-point shot, well off, short, no good. Hutcherson with the rebound. Put back, no good. And they're going to call that a block on Monroe on Hutcherson. Youngblood feeds it ahead to Sullivan. Sullivan back to Youngblood. She double teamed out there. Cross-court pass, Sullivan down low. Stolen away by Hutcherson, and she's fouled. 13.1 seconds left to go in the third. That'll be the 16th foul on the Titans.
That's going to be on Davis.
A little four-court pressure by the Titans. Hutcherson with the basketball, feeds it ahead to Struthers. Struthers back to Hutcherson, drives into the lane, pull-up shot inside the free throw line, no good. Youngblood with the rebound, and there's a foul on the Indians with 2.7 seconds left to go as Youngblood secures the rebound. Who's that going to be on? That's going to be the fourth foul on one of the Indians.
Fourth foul on Claire Bradshaw.
Fourth foul on hers. Josie Harris checks back into the game. 2.7 seconds left to go in the third period. Indians trail by 11. Layson, long pass it. She traveled, got away with it, shot at the buzzer, no good by Youngblood. And at the end of 30-19, 11-point lead for the Titans. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here in St. Paul, Kansas, where the Indians trail 30-19 to Columbus. 8 minutes left to go in the game. Columbus will start with possession of the basketball. This is one of them games, Mike, where you just keep waiting for the Indians to break through.
Just to turn it on and light it up, yeah.
Because I don't want to sound cocky or anything else, but, man, there's no way we should be able to compete with Columbus. We just can't get anything going here tonight. Davis with the basketball, just like the start of the fourth quarter, goes in Columbus' hands, stripped away by Watrick, and it's going to be.
Who's he going to call that on?
Well, it's out of bounds, but out.
Call it out on.
Oh, they're going to call foul on Davis. That's a 17th foul, but that's going to send Watrick to line shoot to 1-1. Oh, sure. Well, Watrick will go to the line shoot the front end of a 1-1. Davis and Watrick was both on the floor after it. Watrick settles at the line for the front end of the 1-1. 7:48 left to go in the game. Columbus up by 11. Watrick's first free throw crawls over the rim and good. Katie Coons back in there playing with 4 fouls. Struthers with 3. Bradshaw on the bench with 4. Anybody else in foul trouble? Mike Hutcherson, Watrick, or Doherty?
Albertini's got 3.
In and out again. 1 for 2 for the line. It seems to be the guideline for the Indians tonight from the free throw line.
Yeah, Coombs and Bradshaw with 4. Struthers, Albertini with 3.
Layson feeds it back to Sullivan. Sullivan guarded by Hutcherson. Off to the right, back to Layson. Layson pestered out there by Doherty. Looks to get rid of it. Kicks it off her foot. Oh, man, now they're going to call a foul on. Boy, I tell you what, this ref here is not having a good night.
This guy here.
They're going to call that on Elise Doherty. It went off the foot, out of bounds. At the same time it goes out of bounds, he whistles Doherty for a foul. 6th team foul on the Indians. Second foul on Elise Doherty. Fed inbounds. Layson with the basketball, looking in at Youngblood. Feed into Youngblood. Dribbles to the right. Triple team down there. Back to Layson. Layson guarded by Doherty again out there. Dribbles to her left. Cut off by Watrick. Doherty stays with her. Now out to Youngblood, way out wide. Tries to drive the baseline. Gets down. Now the ball's loose on the floor. Watrick down out after it. And they're going to call a jump ball. And it's going to go to the Indians off the possession arrow. As that ball rolls out of bounds too, they call the jump ball. 10-point lead for the Titans, 30-20. Indians need to try to make a run here in the next 2 or 3 minutes and kind of chip away at this. I know I've been saying that for 3 quarters. This is the closest the Indians has been for quite a while. Coons with the basketball, shot up, a lot of contact, no call. Good hustle by Struthers, gets the rebound. Now into Hutcherson. Hutcherson, one dribble, shot off the backboard, too hard, no good. Rebound, Columbus. Sullivan with the basketball. No, that's Layson with the basketball. There's a screen set. That's going to be on Watrick. Seeing that one coming.
Yeah, that'll be 3 on Watrick.
Davis ends up on the floor.
Watrick, I saw her earlier in the game. She does a good job. She sees those screens coming, and she's pretty aggressive as she goes into the person setting the screen to make them not like setting it. But
17 foul on the Titans. Davis will go to the line to shoot the front end of the 1-and-1. Try to get this back over 10 again. And it's right through there. Indians have to struggle so hard to get a point on the board, and then they stop it and send them to the free throw line. And Columbus makes them pay. Davis settles into the line for the second, and it's right through there. She cans both of them back up to a 12-point lead. You have no room to let them extend their lead. You got to keep chipping away. Off to Watrick, left wing. Watrick with her left hand, dribbles to the left. Euro step out to Hutcherson, long three-point shot, high off the rim, no good. Watrick with the rebound. Watrick at right wing with the basketball. 6:06 cross-court pass through the hands. That was a dangerous pass as that was out on Sullivan, went right through her hands and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lady Indians. Watrick with the basketball. Feeds it over the top into Hutcherson. Back to Watrick, three-point shot, right wing, good! Leads down to 9. Gets it down to Davis. Nobody picks her up. Davis dribbles with the right. Now back to the left. Gets past Watrick. Down the baseline. Off of Watrick's foot. Kick. And it's going to be a kick ball. It's going to stay with Columbus.
Well, she was driving right in there on Katie Coombs. We're going to see how that turned out, but she passed it off.
Layson set to put the ball in play for the Titans. Gets it in to Sullivan. Stolen away. Hutcherson with the basketball. 3-on-2. Doherty with it. Shot 10-footer short, no good. Backside rebound by the Indians. Put back no good, but she can't get a foul. It's Struthers with the basketball. The same one that calls every foul.
Standing right there looking at him.
Swallows his whistle on the Indians' end of the court. Layson with the basketball now tipped away and stolen by Struthers. Don't throw it. Struthers knocked out of bounds. Oh no. She just loses it out of bounds. Nobody else seen a tip. 30-second timeout by Columbus. And we're going to go ahead and stay here. 5:08 left to go in the game as apparently Struthers just lost that out of bounds. Thought it was tipped. Not sure if Struthers was trying to get rid of it. Coombs was a couple foot ahead of the field on the breakaway. There was a Titan closing quickly as Struthers looked to maybe get ahead, and that's when I said don't throw it because she wasn't going to get it to her. She kept it, got down in front of the rim, and I don't know, she just lost it out of bounds. Coach Tuck thought it was tipped, but apparently it was not, so it's going to go right back to the Titans. So every time the Indians come up, their points off of steals have not been good tonight, Mike. They've had multiple steals against Titans. Titans with plenty of turnovers.
Yeah, they've got
the Indians just can't convert on a turnover.
10 turnovers here in the second half, and yeah, they just haven't been able to get anything out of all those turnovers.
Both teams in a bonus, 17 fouls on each, 7 team fouls on each team. 5 minutes left to go in the game. Davis wasn't looking, but she retrieves it. Now the ball's loose. Doherty comes out with it, and that's going to be a foul on Davis. That's going to send at least Doherty to the line and shoot the front end of 1-and-1. 8th team foul on the Titans. How many is that on Davis, Mike?
Third. That's Davis's third foul.
Davis's third foul. Good little guard for the Titans. See if Doherty can change the string of 50% from the free throw line. Doherty at the line to shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. 5 minutes exactly left to go in the game. 9-point lead for the Titans. Free throw on its way, long, no good. Knocked out of bounds of the Titans. It should stay with the Indians. Nope, they're going to call it out on the Indians. There's 3 Titans there. Full court pressure applied by the Indians. That should have been a 5-second call. I don't guess he knows there's a travel. And it is a travel call on Sullivan. She turns it over, gives it back to Lady Indians. 32-23. 9-point lead for the Titans. 4:56 left to go in the game. Hutcherson feeds it back to Watrick. Indians need to try to get some points quickly here on offense. They have many times the possession as it takes them to score, especially if we're shooting free throws. Back to Hutcherson. Boy, Katie Coons, good pass in front of the rim. Doherty with the rebound. She can't get it to go. Ball's up for grabs, and Layson comes out there with it for the Titans.
Struthers and Doherty both had a shot at it.
Watrick knocks it out of bounds. It will stay with the Titans. Good look by Struthers right in front of the rim, and she couldn't get it to go. It's going to stay with the Titans. 4:31. Another turnover created by the Lady Indians, but they couldn't convert again. Indians picking up the defense. Boy, I don't know. He sure does count slow. Davis should have been a carry. Got away with it against Watrick. Crosses in between. Watrick feeds it back up top to Sullivan. Now into Layson's hand. Layson pestered out there by Doherty up above the timeline. Feeds it to Youngblood. Youngblood lobs it inside to Omart. Shot up, no good. Katie Coons with the rebound. 4 minutes left to go in the game. 9-point lead for the Titans. Watrick with it, behind the back dribble, in towards the elbow, kicks it out to Struthers. Struthers in there, double dribble on her.
Yeah.
And another turnover's on Emerald Struthers, gives it back to the Indians. Claire Bradshaw checks in for Struthers. Sullivan feeds the ball inbounds. The Indians need to continue the pressure. Not much time left. 9 points is the lead for the Titans. Layson using her arm to guide her out of the way. Long cross-court pass, knocked away. Now double team down the corner, and that's going to be out of bounds on Sullivan. She was foot on the line, and the Indians doing their job defensively. Now they need to turn it up offensively. We need to give a shout out, Mikey. It was James E. Ward's birthday yesterday.
Well, happy birthday, James.
Watrick with the basketball. 3:35 left to go in the game. Watrick dribbles past everybody into the lane. Shot up, no good. She's fouled.
She's dead on the arm there, yeah. Sure was.
Got a little bit of a late whistle there. Watrick could go to the line to shoot 2 this time.
That's on Youngblood.
Watrick at the line. You wonder if 3:31, if there's enough, if fatigue's becoming a factor. There hasn't been much subs by Columbus.
No,
just
hasn't.
one sub, as I remember. Fouts is about the only one. Watrick with a little bit, well, I say that. Jones has been in a few times, as well as Fouts. And then also, I believe Monroe's got some playing time. But here lately, not too many subs. Watrick, second free throw, no good. 1 for 2 from the line. Free throws are going to be the name of the game here if the Indians get beat. They've left about 15 points on the board. Way underneath by herself.
Nobody there.
Layup, no good. And it's going to be out on the Indians, and it's going to stay with Columbus. After all of that, wide open layup. Indians can't secure the rebound. It stays with Columbus. 32-24, 8-point lead. You're not going to win this chipping away 1 point at a time with 3 minutes left. Turnover on the Columbus. Watrick with the basketball. She gets it poked away by Davis, and it's going to be a foul on her, and that's going to send Watrick to the line to shoot 2 because the Indians are now in the double bonus.
4th foul on Davis.
4th foul on Lindsay Davis, the young junior.
She kind of just came down and ran right into Taylor.
Watrick goes to the line to shoot 2. 3:12 left to go in the game. 32-24, 8-point lead for the Titans. What's all the hesitation now? A lot of discussion here as we're worried about Claire Bradshaw, how she has her shirt tucked in. Watrick at the line to shoot 2. Free throw on its way. Gets over the front of the rim and is good. As I speak, sub comes in the game. Monroe comes into the game for Sullivan. She's logged a lot of minutes for the Titans tonight. This senior has played well. 32-25, 7-point lead for the Titans. Watrick's free throw on its way. In and out, no good. Katie Coons with the rebound. Put back, no good. And it's going to be an over-the-back call on Doherty. Golly, we've got to make a shot under the basket. And that's going to send Monroe to the line to shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. We just cannot make a shot in and around the basket when we need to. We can only make 1 free throw out of 2. It's been the case for the last half a dozen trips to the free throw line. Indians going to have a record amount of trips to the free throw line, but the free throw percentage is not going to be near good enough. Monroe's free throw is good.
Well, and the bad news is it's not going to be near good enough, but it's going to be a lot better than they're shooting from the field.
3:08 left to go in the game. 8-point lead. Monroe. Indians could have made this 6, and now all of a sudden it could be 9, and it's short. No good. Watrick with the rebound. 8-point lead. Lob ahead to Hutcherson. Hutcherson tries to split the defenders. Short on the layup. No good. Elise Doherty chases it down and throws it off of Claire Bradshaw's hand, and out of bounds it goes again. Another turnover on the Lady Indians. They just need to slow down a little bit when they get possession of the basketball. Layson set to put it in play. Count is on. Finally gets it into Davis.
Dribble.
Davis pestered down there by Watrick and knocked out of bounds. Ooh, I'm not sure that wasn't off of number 22 Sullivan, but they give it back to the Titans. 2:52 left to go in the game. 32-25, 8-point lead for the Titans. Layson lobs it into Youngblood. Oh, you're kidding me.
That's going to be it for Claire Bradshaw. Yep.
Claire Bradshaw with a foul. I thought it was a good play on the basketball against Youngblood. That sends Youngblood to the line. Shoot the front end of a 1-on-1 as Emerald Struthers checks back into the game. For Claire Bradshaw, who's just fouled out of the game. Claire with a good game tonight. 33-25. Over 50% of the Indians' points has come from the free throw line, and that's only shooting about 50%. Youngblood too long. Elise Doherty with the rebound. Youngblood reaches over the top. Coach Tuck really biting his tongue. 2:45 left to go in the game. Indians need to speed things up offensively and crash the boards. Watrick cross-court pass over to Struthers. Struthers dribbles the baseline. Back up top, cross-court for Watrick. Watrick, long three-point shot. No good. Rebound. That should have been over the back on Struthers, and it wasn't. Layson with the basketball. Now steal by Struthers. Shot from her. Good. Timeout. Coach Tuck. Full timeout. 2:20 left in the game. Indians are close as they ever been tonight. 33-27, 6-point lead for the Titans. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. 33-27, 6-point lead for the Titans. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the game. 10 team fouls on the Lady Indians, or 9 on the Lady Indians, 10 on the Titans of Columbus. On the floor for the Indians right now is Taylor Watrick, Emily Hutcherson, Emerald Struthers, Katie Coombs, and Elise Doherty. Struthers and Coombs both in there with 4 fouls. Full court press applied by the Lady Indians as Layson set to put it in play. She looks. It's got to be a 5-second. And she just gets it in. Back to Layson. Indians in chase to Layson. Doherty picks her up by half court. Double team, and that's going to be a foul. Layson's going to go line to shoot 2.
My goodness.
That's on Elise Doherty.
That's number 4 for Elise.
Layson goes to the line to shoot 2. That's a problem. You got to create turnovers, not stop the clock sending the free throw line, trailing by 6. Layson's first free throw on its way, well off, no good. Layson, Indians need to block out here. Settles into the line, 2:12 left to go, 6-point lead for the Titans. Gets her second. Back up to 7. Watrick with the basketball, eases her way down the court. 2:08, kicks it out to Hutcherson. Into Coombs. Coombs tries to make some room against Youngblood. She tries to flop on the ground. Doherty with the rebound. Put back, no good, but she's going to be fouled. Youngblood ends up on the ground, stretching her head out. Looks to be fine. 2 minutes left to go in the game. 34-27, 7-point lead. Elise Doherty at the line to shoot 2. High off the back of the rim. Falls off. No good. Indians free throw woes continue. And all this struggle, if Doherty makes the next free throw, it'll just be back down to 6. Does. 6-point lead for the Titans, 34-28. Sullivan with it as they get it in, and that's going to be a foul on Hutcherson. And that's going to send Sullivan line to shoot 2. Both teams in the double bonus the rest of the way. Indians got to try to create a steal and not foul with each team being in the double bonus.
You know, it's interesting, as aggressive as Emily Hutcherson plays, that's just her first foul.
Sullivan's first free throw on its way and right through there. You're not going to win trading free throws with them, especially when you're shooting under 50% from the free throw line. Sullivan at the line to shoot the second. 1:57 left to go in the game. Makes them both. And back up to an 8-point lead for the Titans. Down to the corner to Hutcherson. Hutcherson into Coombs. Coombs in front. Shot up, no good. Fights for the rebound. Columbus comes down with it, and she's fouled. That is Monroe, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. So this game quickly getting out of reach for the Indians as Monroe goes to the line to shoot double bonus. Give credit to Columbus. They've done what it takes to beat the Indians as much as the Indians has beat themselves by not shooting well. But that's not Columbus's fault. That's the Indians' fault. Monroe at the line to shoot 2. 1:47 left to go in the game. And she's short on her first. 8-point lead for the Titans. 1:45. Indians need to score quick and come up with a couple steals to try to get this back within reach. Second free throw on its way. No good. No rim. So it goes right back to the Lady Indians. 1:47 left to go in the game. 8-point lead for the Titans. Feed ahead to Hutcherson. You got to make something happen quick. Wartrick with the basketball, back to Hutcherson. Can't play catch up top. You got 8 points. Hutcherson in the lane, shot up, no good.
Called for a charge.
And she gets called for a charge.
That's 3 quick fouls within a minute, or well, within just 30 seconds on Hutcherson.
And that's a third on her. Player control, Titan basketball. Somebody needs to pick up number 22, Sullivan, here, and that will get right into Sullivan. Feeds it back to Layson, now ahead to Davis, back to Sullivan. 1:28 left to go in the game. Back to Layson. Layson dribbles with her right, now back to the left, feeds it back to Youngblood. Columbus going to deal the Indians their first loss of the year. Layson with it. Back to Youngblood. Youngblood kicks it to Davis. Kicked up by Wartrick. Indians not denying passes here, just playing chase. Coach Tuck can't do anything about it besides try to get him to do something, and it's going to be a foul on Wartrick against Davis. That's going to send her the line to shoot 2. Now they're going to get together. Now, what are they going to call? One has a foul. Oh, now they're going to call out of bounds on Davis.
Out of bounds.
So they're going to give it to the Indians as they call out of bounds on Davis. 57 seconds left to go here in the ball game. 8-point lead for the Titans. Hutcherson with the ball, kicks it back to Wartrick. Wartrick, long three-point shot. Ooh, in and out. That looked halfway down. Youngblood with the rebound for the Titans. I don't know why we're playing off of them at this point. We need to get all over them like ducks on a June bug. The layup on the backside, good. She's fouled. That's Sullivan with the score. She's going to go to the line to shoot and one. And Coombs has just fouled out of the game with 38.9 seconds left to go in the game.
Sullivan was standing down there uncovered by herself, and Katie just trying to get caught up.
Ava Chambers comes to the scores table and checks in for the Lady Indians. This is going to be back-to-back preseason tournament losses in 18 and 19 to Indians to the Titans of Columbus. Rebound Monroe, and she's fouled on the putback. Indians unable to block out on the free throws. And that's going to send Monroe to the line to shoot 2. Not much to say, Mike, besides what's already been said.
It's right. It's
This
you know,
is definitely not a consistent
they
performance
came out after
by
half
Indians.
and looked a little better. And just could keep it going.
Monroe can't get her first free throw to go as she settles in for her second. 37.8 seconds left to go in the game. 38-28.
Kind of thought the way they came out after halftime, they might build something back.
Second shot on its way and good. 11-point lead for Columbus again. 37 seconds. Long three-point shot by Hutcherson. Short, no good. Rebound loose on the floor. Monroe comes out of there with it. Feeds it back to Youngblood. 25 seconds. Off to the left wing, Sullivan. Back up top to Youngblood. Youngblood picked up now by Doherty. And that's going to be a foul on Watrick on Davis from behind. She tried to get around her and went through her instead. Davis will go to the line to shoot 2. Fourth foul on Taylor Watrick. Columbus up by 11, 12.2 seconds left to go in the game. Columbus going to come out of here back-to-back preseason tournaments at the St. Paul tournament. Defeating Chitopa Southeast and St. Paul to be 3-0 in this tournament. Indians are going to fall with their first loss of the year to the Titans. Rebound, or shot no good. Monroe with another rebound. Indians can't block out again. Back-to-back rebounds by Monroe, and Struthers is fouled out of the ball game. 10.4 seconds left to go in the game. Third Indian to foul out. And that's going to send Kenneth Doherty to the scorer's table to check in for Struthers. (39-28). 11-point lead as Monroe to the line to shoot 2. In and out, no good.
Monroe shot 12 free throws tonight.
There's been a lot of free throws shot by both teams here tonight. Second shot on its way and good. Good job by Monroe getting the last couple rebounds. Hutcherson with the basketball. 7 seconds. Long three-point shot. Way off. No good. Out of bounds and goes back to the Titans.
Yeah, looking down the score sheet, I'll total these up for the post game, but yeah, you can tell by looking that the Indian shooting was just not happening tonight.
Final score: Titans of Columbus 40, Indians 28. We'll be back with your post game show after this 2-minute timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.
Welcome back to Billy Figure Fieldhouse. We're here. The Lady Titans of Columbus have finished up the St. Paul tournament as tournament champions for the second year in a row. So, Dano, that's the way it went tonight.
Titans come up on top of the Lady Indians 40-28. The Indians 12 for 26 from the free throw line. So that's the difference in the ball game right there. Indians only shot 15% for the game. 14%.
14%, yeah.
From the field. 7 for 49.
7 of 49 is not going to get anything done. That is for sure.
And that's just the way it goes. Sometimes the Indians will regroup. Coach Tuck, I'm sure they'll have a good week of practice next week. Now, the Indians jump right into league play next week. They go to, play Uniontown Tuesday night. I'm not sure if that's home or away. And then play next Tuesday and Friday, and then Christmas break. So a couple more games after the preseason tournament, and then a long Christmas break. So the Indians got something to work on now. Or that's, as we said before, Coach Tuck, I know that started this year was looking for a little more consistency out of his Lady Indians this year. And they looked pretty good the first 3 games of the year, but tonight that inconsistency showed up, especially on offense, and Indians come up short.
Well, and that's what's sad. They played so good to get themselves here in a place where they could win this tournament, take it back from Columbus, and then came out tonight just flat from the beginning, not able to make any kind of baskets, especially offensively, to come out after half and try their best to get things going again, and it still wasn't going to happen for them. But, that's the way it goes. But I know that Coach Tuck, and we've seen him do it before, he'll get the girls back to work, and they'll put this one behind him and look ahead, move forward. And that's one thing that he's pretty good at doing, is getting the girls focused on looking ahead, and don't let this thing sit there and eat on you. And, we look for him to have a few cold nights once in a while. It happens. But, boy, when they're like this one was tonight, only shooting 7 of 49 from 14%, they're a lot more painful and difficult to swallow, that's for sure.
Boy, we got that jukebox cranked in.
How about that? We got her going on, don't we?
Rolling. Lady Indians come up short. We're going to take another short break. And after this other break, Mike will give you all the first half stats. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Hey, you're going to turn that up.
Check. Yeah.
Welcome back to Billy Figure Fieldhouse, where final score, Lady Titans of Columbus 40, Lady Indians from St. Paul 28. Mike, can you run down the scoring for us?
Yeah, I can run down what there is of it, Dan, and a lot of it came from the free throw line. Taylor Watrick, with a nice second half, she put together, doing what she could to try and get the Lady Indians back in the game. Just wasn't enough, but she led all the Lady Indians in scoring with 12. She was followed closely by Emily Hutcherson, who was doing her part too, trying to make things happen. Just nobody having any luck. And then you fall off after that. Struthers had 2, Katie Coombs had 1, and Claire Bradshaw with 1, and Elise Doherty with 1. So other than Hutcherson and Watrick, everyone else less than 5 points in the game, and you don't see that very often with this team if they're on and playing like they're capable of playing. But overall shooting, like I said, Watrick, she was 3 of 8 from overall on the floor. Hutcherson 3 of 17. Coombs was 0 for 5. Her 1 point came off of a free throw. Struthers 1 of 7. Bradshaw 0 for 7. Her 1 point off of a free throw, as was Doherty, who was 0 for 4 with the 1 free throw. So when you've got that many people with points on the board, none of them coming anywhere but the free throw line, that's where you run into the problems. And that's pretty much the extent of the scoring and the stats for tonight. It's not the Lady Indians' night.
14% from the field, 15% from two-point land, 12% from three-point land, 46% from the free throw line percent. Indians end up with 20 total rebounds. That's 15 in the second half because they only had 5 in the first half.
That's right.
12 offensively, 8 defensively, 29 fouls on the night by the Lady Indians with 13 turnovers. So no matter how you look at that stat sheet, it's not very pretty.
Not very good. No, they had 3 Lady Indians, Coombs, Struthers, and Bradshaw, all 3 fouled out. Watrick ended up close to that with 4, and Doherty also with 4. So, yeah, the fouls really ate them up as well.
So, Mark, we're going to take a little extended break here. So we take a little bathroom break here. About 10 minutes before the boys' game starts, we're going to take probably about a 5-minute break here, and then we'll be back with the starting lineups for each team and our pregame of between St. Paul boys and Columbus boys here in about 5 minutes. We'll be back after this extended break. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Hey, Mark, I'll holler at you when I get back, okay? Thanks, buddy. We're back, Mark. That'd be fine. Thanks. Well, thank everybody joining us on the live stream. We'll get about boys action. Well, you can see the clock. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Well, welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse here as the boys are warming up on the court. Boys trying to get a one win here tonight against the Titans, where the girls just fell short. So the boys trying to turn things around and try to get a victory here at the preseason tournament. It'll be a tough matchup for the boys against Columbus, but we'll see how the boys can fare. They had a hard-fought victory last night against Southeast, where they come out with a 1-point victory, where Caleb Lemons gave the Indians a lead off of a free throw with 7.1 seconds left to go in the game, and they was able to hang on in that game. So a good ball game by the Indians put together. A lot of time logged by the 5 starters for the Indians, so we'll see if that is a fatigue factor here tonight.
That'd be one of the things to watch for sure, Dan. You know, the Indians, they've been, over the last few years, they've had a little bit of depth at times, and at other times they haven't. And so it's not completely new to them to have to rely a lot on the senior or the older players, but at the same time they've got a lot of athletic players that are freshmen and sophomores, and so you got to wonder if they get a chance, if they can get some of them in, get them some experience like they did when they were out on the football field. That paid off for sure, but it'll be interesting to see how those young players are able to step up if they get a chance to get on the floor. But you're right, the first starting 5 are going to have a lot of work to do and going to get a lot of time on the floor playing, and we'll for sure see that just like we did in both the games earlier in the season.
Both teams finishing up their warm-ups, less than a minute until tip-off, and we'll go over starting lineups here in just a second. The Indians are 2-1 on the season. Lost their opening round game at Galena, and a hard loss for them. Came back, handled Chautauqua pretty good Tuesday night, and then with that 1-point victory against Southeast last night. So the Indians on a little bit of a roll here, trying to stay perfect in this preseason tournament. Just a little bit, Mike. As we get set to go over starting lineups for each team, got the same officiating crew, so we'll see if that sticks around. It's the same.
Well, we'll see if it changes any when the boys are played.
I hope the Indian boys don't have 29 fouls on the night, or we will be in trouble.
This is a different crew. I don't remember seeing them down here. I'm not sure. We don't ever get the names of them, know who they are, where they come from, but a lot of them we see as we watch them play all season long and look familiar to us, but I don't recognize any of these 3 guys.
Nope, and it wasn't the officials' shot.
No, it wasn't their fault. They just made some calls.
They
just made some calls that were questionable on where we sat, but everybody does, and that's part of basketball too. That's part of the fun.
Sure, they was wrong calls. We lost.
That's right.
And we're home.
That's right.
As we get set for play here, Patrick Cassidy, I remember him from last year, a good ball player for Columbus. Is the senior going to be a starting lineup for the Titans. We get set to get underway next week. Boy, we're rolling right into the Christmas break here. Just 2 games left next week before we go on a long extended Christmas break. And then just as soon as well, actually, the Indians don't even come back to school. I think on the 4th, Opie comes to town. So that will be a great matchup to come see. Saporito, a senior, number 5, gets the start for the Titans. For the Indians, Caleb Lemons coming off a back-to-back good scoring games. Number 10, Hooser, a senior, gets the start for the Titans. For the Indians, Hayden Smith coming off his best game of the year last night. Number 11, Patrick Cassidy, good pure shooter from the outside for the Titans. For the Indians, senior Adam Albertini, 3 seniors on the floor for each team so far. For Columbus, Schallenberger, the junior, gets the start for the Indians senior. Number 15, Easton Dent, the senior. Coming off a pretty tough game last night. Not early foul trouble. We'll see if Easton can get things going here tonight. Number 42, Seth Stover, gets the start. And last but not least, Seth Stover, just a freshman, Mike. Chandler Bradshaw for the Indians. 5 seniors on the floor for the Indians to finish off this preseason tournament as we are set for tip-off. 8 minutes on the clock. Probably pretty equal on height throughout. Maybe a little height advantage for the Titans of Columbus as Saporetto gets set for the tip against Hayden Smith. Smith still working on his timing on the jump ball. First year of jumping center with the loss of Kenny Haney. One thing kind of caught my eye, Mike, Christmas break for the college kids. A lot of college kids back in town. Good to see the alumni back in and around to watch basketball.
Yeah, that's
Saporetto
nice to see for
controls
sure.
the tip for the Titans. Back to Schallenberger. Schallenberger off to Cassidy. Cassidy guarded by Lemons. Man-to-man defense applied by the Indians. Hosier with the ball. Feeds it down to the baseline. Kicks a three-point shot. Cassidy, good. There's that shooter, left him open, and he buries a 3 to start the ball game and gives the Titans a 3-0 lead. You cannot leave him open. Lemons with the basketball, feeds it to Albertini. Adam finally started to heat up in that fourth quarter last night. He'll be the first one to tell you hadn't been shooting the ball real well to start the ball game or start the season. Inside to Bradshaw. Bradshaw gets it stripped away, feeds it back to Albertini. Jump shot on the way by him. Short, no good. Hayden Smith, rebound, put back, good. Good work on the boards by Smith. Get the Indians back within 1. Off to the right wing to Schallenberger, back up top, swings it around quickly. Now off to Hosier. Hosier to Saporetto. Now Hosier drives the baseline, shot on the way, in and out, no good. He gets his own rebound, foul underneath. And that's going to be on who?
Hayden Smith.
Well, this fella here is called about
He likes to call them.
75 fouls tonight. Columbus basketball under their own basket. First foul on Smith. First team foul on Indians. They look to get it inbounds. Get it into Cassidy. Pull up jump shot on the way in. It's Cassidy 2 for 2 on his first 2 looks at the basket and gives the Columbus a 5-2 lead. Lemons with the basketball, guarded up top by Schallenberger. Goes around the screen, jump stop, gets called for the double dribble.
That's going to be important, too, for the Indians not to give the ball back to the Titans, especially with a guy like Cassidy out there.
Cassidy feeds it into Schallenberger. Schallenberger to the right against Bradshaw. Drives the baseline, cross, now right, layup. Gets past 3 different Indians and gets on the weak side of the board to score easily as everybody just kind of let him go by. Went to the opposite side of the rim. Now Columbus leads 7-2. Bradshaw with the basketball out at left wing position. Swings it up top to Smith. Now over to Albertini. Albertini drives the baseline. Feeds it cross court to Lemons. Lemons drives the baseline all the way to the rim. Shot up, no good. A lot of contact, no call made. Schallenberger with the ball, cross court to Cassidy. Layup good. 9-2, Columbus up by 7. 5:46 left to go in the first. Albertini with the basketball up top to Bradshaw. Bradshaw dribbles up above the timeline, feeds it off to Lemons. Lemons guarded out there by Saporetto. Hayden Smith with the basketball, feeds it off to Albertini. Now throws it as Bradshaw releases. Breakaway layup, Hosier, no, it's good. Excuse me, I thought it was going to be short. And all of a sudden it's 11-9, timeout. Columbus, or it's timeout, St. Paul, 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout with St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. St. Paul already digs himself a 9-point hole. 5:15 left to go in the first. Bradshaw with the basketball. Out of the timeout. Shot outside the elbow. Good. Good shot by Chandler Bradshaw. 11-4. Titans up by 7. Cassidy with the basketball. Picked up out here by Lemons. Kicks it up top. Or swings it around to Hoser. Hoser tries to whip it inbound. And they're going to say it's off of Smith. Errant pass goes the Titans' way as they get the call off of Smith's hand. It'll stay with the Titans. Get it in to Schallenberger. Now back to Cassidy. Pull up shot from the elbow. Short, no good. Dent with a rebound. Dent feeds it off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw almost double dribbled. Feeds it to Albertini. 3-point shot left wing. Good! And a
was he
foul.
fouled too, I believe.
On who? On Smith, I believe, away from the basket.
That was away from the ball.
Basket is good. And it's going to be a foul on Lemons away from the basketball. Second team foul on the Indians. First on Lemons. 7-11. 4-point lead for the Titans. Hoser with the basketball. Feeds it off to Schallenberger. Schallenberger right wing back over to Saporito. To Cassidy. Cassidy, Saporito, layup. No good, long. Bradshaw the rebound. Stolen away by Schallenberger. And it's going to be a foul on the Indians. On Hayden Smith. That's going to be his second.
Hayden didn't like the call, and Adam Albertini jumped in to rescue him before he got the official too upset. The official giving him a stare down there. Bench warning on the coach, so that referee is not going to listen to it.
Cassidy goes to the line to shoot 2. He gets his first to go. Ivan Murillo, ref wouldn't even go talk to Coach Walker.
No, he wouldn't.
Asked him to come talk to him, and he wouldn't even come talk to him as Ivan Murillo goes in for Hayden Smith, who's picked up his second foul, third team foul on the night. Cassidy, second free throw, no good. Bradshaw with the rebound. Ref's going to have to pay attention to the game instead of looking at Coach Walker. 3-point shot by Albertini, no good. Murillo with the rebound, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that's going to be on number 15, Schallenberger, his first team foul on the Titans. 12-7, 5-point lead for the Titans. Murillo at the line, makes his first. Ref won't talk to Coach Wattrick, but he gives Columbus coach a hug. Murillo settles at the line for his second. It's on its way and good. Good free throw shoot by Ivan Murillo.
You know, we call that a clue.
With the ball, Schallenberger swings it around the right wing to Cassidy. Guarded out there by Lemons. Schallenberger fakes it 3, feeds it off to Hoser. All the way to the rim. Shot up by Hoser. Good off the high off the backboard. Subs at the scores table for the Titans. Albertini with the basketball. Crosses the timeline. Dangerous pass over to Lemons, but gets it to him. Lemons with the basketball. Dribbles into the lane. Pull up jump shot. Hesitation. Gets it to go. Good shot by Caleb Lemons. Gets the lead down to 3. 14-11. Cassidy with the basketball for the Titans. Dribbles to his right around Lemons, short on the shot, inside the free throw line. Bradshaw with the rebound. Bradshaw with his right hand now to his left. A little contact, no call made. Murillo with it, feeds it up top to Albertini as the Indians reset. Off to Lemons. Lemons guarded by Schallenberger. Motion offense by the Indians. Now to the baseline is Lemons. Contact, no call.
You call a charge on Lemons.
Charge on Caleb Lemons. That's going to be his second. Stover had position. Second foul on that's just the first on Lemons.
I got that for his second.
There it is, the second. Excuse me. Second foul on Lemons. Fourth team foul on the Indians, just one on the Titans. Schallenberger with the basketball. Walden in the game for the Titans, as well as number 35, Midget. Midget with the basketball to Walden, off to Cassidy. Cassidy still guarded by Lemons, gets around him. Schallenberger, three-point shot, off the rim, no good. Bradshaw chases it down, feeds it to Albertini. Albertini streaks down the floor to the right, holds his dribble at right wing, kicks it up top to Bradshaw. Bradshaw, top of the key with the basketball, screen set by Lemons. Bradshaw into the lane. He's going to get whistled for the travel as he got caught in between what he wanted to do and walks with the basketball and turns it back over to the Titans. Cassidy with the basketball for the Titans. Feeds it off to the right wing to Saporito. Off to Walden. Walden to Cassidy. And that's going to be, that was a quick foul. And that's going to be the third foul on Lemons. 15th foul on the Indians.
Lemons reached up there and just made a token slap at the ball.
Titans basketball, top of the key to Walden. Walden guarded by Murillo, thought about the shot, pulled back. Loses it, was Cassidy. Comes out there with it, is Dent. Dent works his way down the court, feeds it to Lemons, three-point shot, right wing, good! Tie score, 14-14. Lemons stays in the game for now. Now Austin O'Hara comes to the scores table for the Indians. 1:29 left to go in the first. Lemons with 3 fouls, and we're still in the first quarter. Schallenberger with the basketball, feeds it to Walden. Walden guarded by Murillo in front of the rim. 10-footer, good. Adam Albertini with the basketball. 2-point lead for Columbus, 16-14. 1:08 left to go in the first period. Bradshaw with the basketball, screen set by Murillo. Now he releases. Now Lemons with the screen, off to Dent. Dent dribbles to his right, feeds it to Lemons. Three-point shot, left wing, good! Caleb Lemons warming up, 17-16. Needs to keep it clean here, keep his feet on the floor defensively. Adam Albertini picks up Cassidy, switches with Lemons. Walden with the basketball, feeds it off to Midget. Midget up top to Walden. Walden one dribble to the elbow, gets Schallenberger. He drives the baseline. Boy, that guy
is calling him now, isn't he?
I wished he would be underneath the basket on Columbus's end instead of our end.
He don't want you to touch him.
16 foul on the Indians, just 1 on the Titans. First on Bradshaw, as Caleb Lemons with a hot hand has to take a seat with 3 fouls. 17-16, 1-point lead for the Indians. Fought their way, trailing 9 early and come back and leads by 1. But Caleb Lemons with foul trouble. Walden three-point shot off the rim, no good. Bradshaw rebound. Somebody's going to have to pick up the slack with the absence of Lemons. He's been a high point man the last couple nights. And Albertini three-pointer from the left wing, no good. Rebound comes out to Schallenberger. Schallenberger pushes it up the court, gets to Midget. Midget all the way in, gets it partially blocked. Murillo with the rebound. Murillo feeds it ahead to Albertini, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. End of the first quarter score, Indians 17, Columbus 16. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. St. Paul leads after one, 17-16, and will have possession of the basketball to start this second period. Chandler Bradshaw, top of the key, crosses half court with it as they set a play. Austin O'Hara sets a screen now, releases. Bradshaw up above the timeline. Looks like a little bit of a zone now for Columbus. Almost a steal by Walden. Feet ahead into, and that's going to be a foul over the back on Midget as they try to feed it into O'Hara. Just the second foul on Columbus, 6 on the Indians, first on Midget. Albertini with the basketball off the inbounds. Looking, finally feeds it into Bradshaw. Bradshaw gets it poked away, but it's a foul on Hoser, so 2 quick fouls on Columbus. Third team foul, first on Hoser. St. Paul will retain possession. 7:40 left to go in the second period. They lead by 1. Need to try to burn some clock with some good offensive possessions here with Lemons on the bench with 3 fouls. Bradshaw with the basketball. Hands it off to Albertini. Albertini down to the baseline. Pull up jump shot short. No good. Rebound Columbus. Walden with the basketball. Got tied up for a little bit. No call. Feeds it ahead to Midget. Shot on the way. Gets a roll. And it goes. Good shot by him in traffic. 18-17. Columbus up by 1. Albertini with the basketball. Into Bradshaw. Back to Albertini. 3-point shot right wing. Short. Way off. Walden with the rebound. A lot of Titans down the court. Feed it back to Midget. Now down to the corner. Back up top to Walden. Hamilton in the game for Columbus now. It's going to be a walk on Walden. Turns it right back over to the Indians. As Cassidy right back into the game for the Titans. He comes in for Hamilton. 6:43 left to go in the first half. 1-point lead for the Titans, 18-17. Albertini with the basketball. Crosses the timeline, feeds it off to Murillo. Murillo at left wing with the basketball, dribbles towards the baseline, kicks it back out to Dent. Dent into the lane, kicks it out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw to elbow, pull up shot. Ooh, in and out, good. Or no good, I mean, it looked good. About halfway down, rattles itself back out. Walden swings it down to the corner to Midget, back up to Schallenberger, up the top to Cassidy. 3-point shot from the timeline. And
wow.
That's not an exaggeration.
He
was up above the timeline and buries the 3 from the timeline with a grin on his face. Easton Dent with the basketball. Dent, turnaround shot in front of the rim, good.
Good move by Dent.
21-19, 2-point lead for the Titans. Feed ahead to Midget, loses it, kicks it back out to Cassidy. Almost goes out of bounds, saves it. Walden with it. Now Schallenberger back up to Cassidy. Another shot from the same spot, good.
Apparently you're going to have to get a hand in his face wherever he's at.
24-19, 5-point lead for the Titans.
Cassidy 3 for 3 from outside 3-point range.
And there's a push, got away with it. As the Indians get back on defense, Hoser with the ball into the lane, floater, good. Goes right past everyone. Timeout. Coach Wattrick, 5:17 left to go, and all of a sudden it's back up to a 7-point lead. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. And the Columbus Titans up to a 7-point lead off the hot shooting by Cassidy. St. Paul back out on the floor for the Indians. Caleb Lemons with 3 fouls. Hayden Smith back in there. Has he got 2 or 3, Mike?
Hayden Smith's got 2.
2 on Smith, so the starting 5 back in the game. Albertini 3-point shot, short, no good. Rebound Titans, Schallenberger with it. 2 Indians back. Kicks it out, 3-point shot from the right baseline, long, no good. Albertini with the rebound. That shot was put up by Hoser. All the way down comes Albertini to the corner to Bradshaw. Bradshaw kicks it back to Albertini into the free throw line. Kicks it out to Lemons. Lemons shot from the baseline. Boy, he's fouled. And no call. Same guy that calls everything right in front of his face and did call it all over the arm of Lemons. Cassidy with the basketball tries to whip it in bounds and ball's fought for over. Hayden Smith comes out there with it. Smith ahead to Albertini. No numbers for the Indians, so they set it up. Bradshaw all the way into the rim. Layup good. And 1.
Nice. That was a nice move by Chandler
Bradshaw with a good hard move to the basket. It's going to get the call and the shot. So he'll go to the line for the and 1. 15 foul. 4th on the Titans. 1st on Walden. Bradshaw's free throw on its way and good. 26-22. Austin O'Hara checks back in for Lemons. A little offense, defense by Coach Wadrick, trying to keep Lemons from picking up his 4th foul. Bradshaw retreats into defense. Schallenberger with the basketball for the Titans. Off to Cassidy. Cassidy must like it up the timeline straight away because he's had an open shot, shot by Columbus, knocked out of bounds by Bradshaw. All he had to do is jump up and grab it with 2 hands and pushes it out of bounds on his own. So off of Chandler Bradshaw, it'll stay with the Titans. Schallenberger feeds it into Cassidy. Shot up and good off the inbounds play. It's just a 2 though. He is a pure shooter. He hasn't missed very many tonight. Albertini, 28-22, 6-point lead for Columbus. Cross-court pass from Albertini to Bradshaw. Bradshaw, O'Hara to get fouled from behind by Schallenberger. As Lemons checks into the scorer's table, it's going to come in for O'Hara. 15 foul on the Titans, 2nd on Schallenberger. As the sub comes in, as Indians basketball under their own rim. So on the floor for the Indians, Smith, Albertini, Dent, Bradshaw, and Lemons. Cross-court pass to Bradshaw. Bradshaw 3-point shot, baseline long, no good. Albertini rebound, put back good. Good job by Albertini. Indians hanging around here, 28-24, 4-point lead for the Titans. Walden with the basketball, back to Cassidy. Back up top to Hoser, swings it around to Midget. Midget to Saporito. Saporito back to Walden, back up to Cassidy. Cassidy thought about the 3, passed it up. Albertini tightens up a little bit on him. Saporito with the ball. Cassidy, long 3-point shot again, good.
Man, that's his shot out there.
And I am not exaggerating, he is behind the timeline, which is about 5 feet behind the 3-point line, straight away every time he's taken that shot, and he's made every one he's taken, and he gives the Titans a 7-point lead, 31-24. I know he's a good shooter, but I can't just imagine.
How can he stay that hot?
But so far, he is shooting lights out. Give him credit. Pass out top to Bradshaw. Indians basketball. They trail by 7, 31-24. 2:52 left to go. Boy, Bradshaw ends up on the floor. Shot by Albertini's good, and it's a 2-pointer. 36-31, and there's another long shot by Cassidy. He misses that one. He wasn't straight away, and that's going to be a travel on Smith as he was tied up from behind and gets whistled for the travel.
First 3-pointer Cassidy's missed.
16 fouls on each team. He wasn't straight away, Mike. He was off to the left a little bit.
Out of the line.
Inbounds, good inbounds play as Saporito gets it by everybody. It's wide open. Layup is good. Timeout, Columbus. With that, we'll go ahead and take a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Mark, make it a 1 minute, please. How many points you got?
18. Got a free throw too.
Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse, 33-26, 7-point lead for the Titans. Cassidy with 19 of Columbus's 33 points. Albertini feeds it off to Lemons. 2:29 left to go in the first half. See if the Indians can close this gap a little bit to close out the half. Lemons with the basketball up above the timeline, feeds it to Albertini. Albertini holds it, guarded by Cassidy, off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw tries to feed into Smith, knocked out of bounds by Stover, and it's going to stay with the Indians. Bad pass by the Indians. Got lucky there. Stover swatted out of bounds. Easton Dent, three-point shot left baseline, way off. Long, no good. Hoser with the basketball for the Titans. Dribbles in front of the free throw line, cross-court pass to Midget. Midget into the lane. He's going to be fouled by Smith, and he makes the shot.
That's going to be third foul on Hayden.
Smith picks up his third foul as Midget left it wide open to drive to the basket and scores, and for the end one. So back up to a 9-point lead for the Titans with 1:59 left to go in the second quarter. Free throw rattles home and is good. Murillo into the game for Smith. 10-point lead for the Titans. Biggest lead of the game. Just a second ago it was 4 points. Now it's back up to 10. Dent with the basketball. Spins in front of the rim. Splits the defenders. Layup no good. Rebound. Ozer for the Titans. Ozer feed inside. Saporito gets position on Dent and he scores a layup. And a 12-point lead for the Titans. The Indians not tightening things up on defense like they need to be. Bradshaw, boy, he got away with a walk. Lemons with the basketball, top of the key. 1:18 left to go in the first half. Long three-pointer, Lemons off, no good. And that's going to be a foul on Ivan Murillo over the back. 8th team foul on the Indians. Should be a 1-and-1. Who's going to be shooting? Looks like maybe Stover. Stover goes to the line, shoots front end 1-1. 8th team foul. First on Murillo. Stover at the line, shoots front end 1-1. Settles in at the line, in and out, no good. Rebound Murillo for the Indians. Feeds it out to Albertini. 1:10 left to go in the first half. 12-point lead for the Titans. Biggest lead of the game for the Titans. Lemons back to Albertini. Feeds it to Dent. Dent again into traffic. Triple teamed. Up and under. Shot up. No good, but he's fouled. Dent will go to the line to shoot two. Dent with a couple good moves. Gets to the rim, but he can't convert on either one of them, but he's going to go to the free throw line this time.
I like that they're trying to work it inside to him like that. It's just not paying off yet.
Dent at the line. Shoot two. First free throw on its way and through there. O'Hara enters the game for Lemons with 53.7 left to go. Coach Wartrick don't want Lemons to pick up his fourth foul. Dent lines up for his second. It is right through there. Cassidy with the basketball, 38-28, 10-point lead for the Titans. Feeds it to Hoser, hands it off to Midget. Midget guarded by Murillo. Now back to Cassidy at left wing. Boy, that's a walk as he switched pivot foots. Gets it back to Hoser, back to Midget. 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Cassidy with it, up above the timeline to the left of the top of the key. Now dribbles to the right, now big switch. As O'Hara now has the task of guarding the hot shooting Cassidy. Now a little bit of a matchup zone, I believe, by the Indians. 10 seconds. Cassidy to the right, whips it down to the baseline. Back to Cassidy, three-point shot from the wing, off the front iron, no good. 2 seconds left for half. Albertini pull up long three-pointer, short, no good. Off the iron, and it is halftime, 38-28. Titans up by 10. We'll be back with your first half stats after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse, where St. Paul trails 38-28 to the Titans of Columbus. Indians able to get that lead down to 4 there, about 2 minutes to go left in the first half, and Titans able to extend that back out to 10, so the Indians got some work to do here in the second half, Mike.
Yeah, Indians got a lot of work to do to get themselves. They're going to have to do something, find an answer for Cassidy, because he cooled off a little bit there at the end, but he hit a hot streak. He hits very many of those, and it's going to get away quick because he gets lined up out front, straight out there. He's not afraid to shoot it probably as far down the floor as he thinks he needs to, and I think he has a reasonable chance of making it. And I believe him the way he was shooting there for a while. He was hot, but they need to get a hold of some way to control him. But not only that, Columbus moving the ball around really well, and the Indians playing some catch-up on defense and sometimes getting caught out of position, and I think that's cost them too. They've done a reasonably good job trying to get in and get some rebounds, but at the same time drawing some fouls, and got a little bit of foul trouble that they got to worry about too, with Lemons having 3 fouls, also Hayden Smith with 3, so they have to be kind of careful in that area too.
They will. Lemons and Smith both in foul trouble here as we get set to start the second half. And in about 8 minutes, we're into halftime here where the Titans lead 38-28. Been a good tournament here in St. Paul with Columbus, Chetopa, Southeast, and St. Paul. It's been that way for the last couple years. Before that, it's kind of nice. Before that, we had a Wichita school come in here a couple times, and St. Paul playing the late games, since they're hosting here and playing the late games. That was why a little bit of late start. Games has been starting at 4 p.m. with girls and then boys action and girls and boys action again. So round robin tournament, 4 games on the night, the last 2 nights. So it's been a busy time here in Billy Fager Fieldhouse, Mike.
Yeah, it's always, a good tournament with that group, and they get pretty familiar with each other year to year. And we saw that with the girls where they ran into a buzzsaw, 2 years in a row now a little bit and weren't able to come out with the win. And hopefully the boys, they had some trouble last year, and they're looking to redeem themselves as well. Get in here, and they got themselves fought into the championship game, but they got a pretty tough opponent again in Columbus. Columbus shows up here pretty salty every year, ready to play and put some good players on the floor. We've watched Cassidy, like you said in the pregame before it got started, that keep your eye on him, and sure enough we were right, because he's really developed over time and started out good and has just gotten better over the years.
I'll just put it this way: when Coach Tuck and the Lady Indians watch that tape, there's going to be a lot to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't fix, well, I mean, you got to clean up the poor shooting, and that's the consistency on offense that you want, and especially when you get into postseason play and you play the Opies of the world, they're not going to miss much, just like Cassidy shooting here.
Right.
And the Indians is just plain and simply, first game of the year, the Lady Indians struggled from the field here tonight. The boys kind of on the same way. The boys not very deep this year, just playing 5, 6, maybe 7 guys at the most. So fatigue could be an issue here in the second half. Albertini and Lemons, Hayden Smith, Easton Dent all logging a ton of minutes in these first 3 games here in the preseason tournament. So we'll see how things will work out. Mike's going to have all the rest of the first half stats after this last 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. St. Paul back out on the floor warming up here for the second half, and we hope they warm up here. Mike, what do you got for first half stats for the Indians?
Well, the Indians, they fared a little better than the girls did. They will at least put some points on the board in the first half with 28. They were led by Caleb Lemons, who had 8 points. Caleb was 3 from outside the three-point range and 1 of 3 from two-point land. Adam Albertini had 7 for the Indians. Adam trying to get the threes to fall. He hit the first one and then went on a cold streak and missed the next 5. He was 1 of 6 from three-point range, but he did have a couple of two-point buckets. He was 2 of 4 inside the arc. Easton Dent with 4. Chandler Bradshaw had 5. And then you've got Ivan Murillo with 2 and Hayden Smith also with 2 points. Chandler Bradshaw trying to heat things up as well, 2 of 3 inside. And then he had the 1 and 1 hit the free throw. So overall free throw shooting for the Indians is, if there is a bright spot, looked pretty good from the free throw line. They were 5 of 6 from the line. So Indians able to sink the free throws if they got a chance. Problem is they only got 6 chances, where Columbus, spent a lot of time on the free throw line and did a lot better job converting, but they were led obviously by Cassidy with 19 points in the first half. Turnover-wise, fairly even, not a lot of turnovers. St. Paul with 5, Columbus with 3. The real story is fouls, where we mentioned Lemons and Hayden Smith, both with 3. Chandler Bradshaw with 1. Murillo's got 1. Columbus, on the other hand, Saporito, Hosier, Stover, Walden, and Midget all have 1. Schallenberger with 2. And that's the extent of the foul troubles for Columbus, which is not too much.
1:35 left to go before second half tip. Indians trail Columbus 38-28. Going to have to be aggressive not to pick up foul, or be careful not to pick up fouls early on in this third quarter, and see if they can't chip into this Columbus lead. It's going to be hard to chip back from. Columbus, a good ball team. St. Paul can come back. Proved it last night against Southeast, but they're going to have to play well here in the second half. Try to work things around as a team and see if they can't get something put together. We'll see what kind of adjustments Coach Watrick made here at halftime. We're going to take one more break right now. Let's get a drink of water here. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout with St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Finger Fieldhouse here in St. Paul, Kansas, where the score is 38-28 as we get set for second half play here. 8 minutes on the clock here in the third period. It is going to be St. Paul's basketball to now one's pointing one way, one's pointing the other way. Now we come back to the scores table.
Double check that. Had some time there at halftime, but check it out now.
He's bound and determined he's going to give it to Columbus as he's still pointing that way.
He's the one going to get his way, too.
Now we're going to figure out that Columbus has the basketball to start the second half. 8 minutes on the clock in the third period.
I'm not sure Coach Watrick agrees, but
Coach Watrick wanted to talk to the refs. He walked out towards center court. They never did acknowledge him. That was before the half even started. So Cassidy with the basketball. Just underway here in the third quarter. Columbus with the basketball. Schallenberger feeds it off to the right wing to Hoosier. Cassidy, reverse layup, good. Grew up play out of halftime, works to perfection for Columbus, and they lead by 12, 40-28. Bradshaw with the basketball for the Indians. Man-to-man defense applied by the Titans. Albertini to Smith. Smith is going to get fouled. That's going to be a Stover foul. Young freshman with the foul. First team foul on the Titans.
Second on Stover.
Second on Stover. Indians basketball under their own rim. Albertini set to put the ball in play. As Hayden Smith may have got away with a little bit of a push there. I've seen that too as somebody from the crowd. Now Lemons, three-point shot right wing, no good off the iron. Smith with the rebound. Gets it stripped out of his hands. It's out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Indians.
You know, one thing about Hayden, he's not afraid to mix it up down in there. He get in there and bang with him a little bit.
Albertini with the basketball. A good feed to Bradshaw, and he misses, but he's fouled. And he's going to be fouled by, somebody hit the light switch over there. Paul, get off the light switch. As that's going to send Bradshaw to the line to shoot two. 7:17 left to go here in the third period, 40-28.
That foul was on Hosier.
Hosier with his second team foul on Columbus. Bradshaw at the line. First one on its way and rattles in good. Crawls over the front of the rim. and falls through. Bradshaw up at the line, ready to shoot his second. It's on its way in right through there and good. 10-point lead, 40-30 for Columbus. Cassidy, Bradshaw comes out on Cassidy, a little more height on Cassidy. Schallenberger with the basketball. Hoser now with it. Now Cassidy, long three-point shot, good. As Chandler Bradshaw looks at the bench and kind of rolls his head back like, I know you told me to get on him. Bradshaw with the basketball, 13-point lead for Columbus off the three-pointer by Cassidy. Hasn't cooled off yet. Shot from the baseline. Lemons gets the roll. Good shot by Caleb Lemons. Cuts the lead to 11. Cassidy hands it off to Schallenberger. Schallenberger to Hoser. Hoser holds it over his head against Dent. Feeds it back to Schallenberger. A lot of motion. It's going to be a walk on Stover, the young freshman. Gives it back to the Indians off the turnover.
Lucky thing, too, he was all by himself outside, and then everybody shifted. He had a wide open lane to the basket.
Lemons into Albertini. Albertini dribbles across the timeline, feeds it off to Bradshaw, left wing. Bradshaw holds it, screen set by Dent. Feeds it to Albertini into Dent. Dent in traffic, triple team down there. About loses it, feeds it back to Albertini in the lane, gets it stripped from Cassidy from behind. Cassidy pushes the ball up the floor. Euro step, layup, floater, good by Cassidy. Lemons right back down with the basketball for the Indians. 6:01 left, 13-point lead. And he's going to get called for the carry is Lemons. Cassidy with the basketball as Hoser inbounded it to him. Off to Schallenberger, back to Hoser. Back to Schallenberger, over to Stover. Bounce pass stolen away by Bradshaw. 2-on-1. Bradshaw all the way to the rim. Layup good. Cassidy right back down. Loses it off of his leg. 5:32 left to go in the third. 11-point lead for the Titans. Schallenberger with it. Feeds it to Cassidy. Long three-point shot. And Bradshaw. Same guy. Bradshaw fouls him on a three, so he's going to get 3 free throws. Cassidy shot the ball falling backward, just fell to the floor. And
put on a good show. It worked.
And he gets the call, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 3 free throws. And the first one is good. He's a good ball player.
He is a good ball player. Take nothing away from him.
Is not disappointed a bit. He was a pure shooter last year. I remember in the tournament and when we played Columbus. And he is showing it here tonight. He's putting on a show, 46-34. So he's got about 60 to 70% of Columbus's points here tonight. Indians have not had an answer for him at all, no matter who they put on him. He still scores. 47-34, 13 now, up to 14 for the Titans. 5:22 left to go in the third. 14-point lead for the Titans. Lemons with the basketball. Inside the paint, stripped away from behind. Lemons back with the basketball, feeds it to Dent. Dent in the traffic, spins away from traffic, turnaround left-handed shot, no good. And rebound comes out to the Titans. Cassidy with it, cross-court pass, layup to Hoser, good. Albertini right back down with it. 16-point lead for the Titans. Bradshaw with it. Pull up jump shot by Bradshaw. Good left-handed shot by Bradshaw against Hoser. 4:43 left to go in the third. 14-point lead for the Titans. Off.
We need a timeout.
Saporito up to Walden. Cassidy, long three-point shot by him. Short this time, no good. I think he's getting tired, Mike.
Yeah.
Off to Lemons. Lemons crossover. Could have got called for the carry there. In and out, no good. Smith with the rebound. Has his head down, shot up, no good, and that's going to be over the back on Dent. Foul on Easton Dent, third team foul, as Midget comes in for Hoser. Schallenberger feeds it into Cassidy. 4:16 halfway through this third period. 14-point lead for the Titans. It was 10 at halftime. Cassidy all the way to the rim. And that's going to be a charge as Dent gets possession.
Good move by Dent.
Good job by Dent getting in there quickly. As Albertini set to put the ball in play. And the Columbus coach disagrees with that same ref.
Didn't give him a warning, though.
What are you trying to say, Mike?
Must have talked nicer.
Yeah, must have. Said, pretty please, can you give me an answer? Lemons with the basketball for, what's that beeping sound, Mike?
That means we need a timeout.
Off to Albertini. Albertini left wing into Dent. Dent into traffic. Walden got his hand in there, fed it off the Lemons. 3-point shot. Good! Caleb Lemon drains a three from the right baseline. Cassidy with the basketball. Now Midget back to Cassidy. 11-point lead by Columbus. Could have been a foul. Turnaround shot off the backboard. No good. Walden fights for the rebound. Comes out there with it for the Titans. Indians trying to regroup on defense. Cassidy with the basketball. Bradshaw on him. Goes to the free throw line inside the 2-point line. Gets the roll, and it goes. Indians still don't have an answer for Mr. Cassidy. Patrick Cassidy, the senior, as he is rolling here tonight. Lemons, Euro step in front of the rim. Answers. Caleb Lemons, a good ball player for the Indians. 52-41, 11-point lead, back to 11. Cassidy right back down with the basketball. Off to Hosier, off to Schallenberger. Schallenberger guarded by Lemons. Lemons still in there with playing well. That's Walden. That's going to be a foul on who? Hayden Smith?
Hayden Smith, I'm afraid.
Is that his fourth?
Yep.
Smith whistled for the foul, just a third-team foul on the Indians. Fourth on Smith. Murillo checks into the game for Smith. As the Indians reset on defense, number 30 in the game, Hamilton is in the game for Columbus. Walden was open for second on the backside. Feeds it into Hamilton. Hamilton back to Midget. And almost a steal by Lemons. Back to Midget. Up to Walden. 2-point shot by him. Well short. Goes out of bounds. It's going to go to the Indians. St. Paul basketball. 2:37 left to go in the third. 52-41. Lemons with the basketball, crosses half court, walks his way up above the timeline. Screen set by Murillo. Hesitation, kicks it out to Albertini. Albertini loses it for a second, gives it off to Dent. Dent, shot from the free throw line, long, no good. Long rebound comes out to Hamilton. Hamilton feeds it ahead to Hosier. Hosier up top to Cassidy, all the way past everybody. Pull up shot from the baseline, no good. Bradshaw comes out there with it. No numbers, but Bradshaw streaks down the floor all the way to the rim and gets it blocked, but he's fouled. And he's going to go to the line and shoot two. Good hustle by Chandler Bradshaw, pushing that basketball down the floor, down that left-hand side to his power side, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. 11-point lead for Columbus. Columbus at the line to shoot two. On its way and goes. We'll get a break at the quarter mark. We're going to have to call you back here. I think the cell phone's about to time us out.
Yep.
Bradshaw settles into the line. Off long, no good. Walden with the rebound for the Titans. 52-42, exact same lead Columbus had at halftime. Saporito feeds it off to Hosier. Hosier guarded by Dent. Off to Walden. Now, Indians need to try to create a turnover with Cassidy. And there's a walk.
There it is.
Walden as he twisted an ankle. Hope he's okay. As number 42, Stover, comes in for Walden. As St. Paul basketball, 1:41 left to go here in the third period. Lemons with the basketball. Walks it across half court. 1:30. Indians try to cut into this 10-point lead by the Titans of Columbus. Off the Lemons. Lemons holds the ball, guarded out there by Midget. Drives into the elbow, pull-up jump shot from the baseline, no good. Ball's loose on the floor, and Albertini comes out there with it. Feeds it down to the corner, Lemons three-point shot. Ooh, off the back iron, no good. Bradshaw on the long rebound with it. Good hustle by both teams as that ball's loose. Into Dent. Dent spin shot, baseline shot, good, and he's fouled. Good spin move and shot by Easton Dent. He gets it to go, and he's fouled.
That's what the Indians need, is to get a couple of put-back shots and get something to go, get some points out of that.
Easton Dent lines up for the and one. St. Paul trying to claw their way back into this game. A minute left to go in the third. Trying to cut into that lead with Cassidy on the bench getting a blow as Dent makes the free throw. 7 points is the lead for Columbus. Full court pressure applied by the Indians now. With Cassidy out, Hoser feeds it ahead to Midget. Now down to the corner. Murillo, the only one back. Layup, no good. Bradshaw, boy, he's hammered, and he gets the call, late call. Foul's going to be on Brett Hamilton, the freshman. 2 freshmen on the floor for the Titans. As this brings Schallenberger back to the scorers table for the Titans. He's going to come in and give Hoser a blow. Albertini feeds it into Lemons. Under a minute left to go, 52-45, 7-point lead for the Titans. Lemons off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw thought about the three, passes it up, crosses over into the lane, pull-up shot from the free throw line. Oh!
In and out.
That was 2/3 of the way down and rattled back out somehow. Schallenberger with the basketball. 31 seconds left to go in the third period. Lemons all over him. Feeds it off to Hamilton. Hamilton gets it poked away. Dent comes out there with it. Dent to Albertini. Albertini all the way down. Layup, no good. Backside rebound, Stover. 16 seconds left to go in the third. Schallenberger, they trap him, and that's going to be a timeout. Columbus, full timeout with 10.4 seconds left to go. And it is going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and stay here during this 30-second timeout. 7-point lead for Columbus, 52-45. St. Paul really trying to claw their way back into this, Mike.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can, and here towards the end of the third quarter, they've been able to heat things up a little bit, get some rebounds, and make some things happen. And if they can continue that, they've got themselves within reach if they just can keep Cassidy, who's been pretty quiet for the last minute or two. When he's not on the floor, the Indians doing a lot better, that's for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if we couldn't score from the bench, Mike.
He could probably, I'm sure he could sit right there in that chair and hit one.
10.4 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 52-45, 7-point lead for Columbus. Cassidy's in there for the last 10 seconds. I wonder what this offensive set will be, Mike. Suppose he'll touch it?
Yep.
Hoser, Midget, as they look to get it to him. And he kicks it off Schallenberger. Long 3-point shot off the rim. No good. 2 seconds. Put back. No good. Shot at the buzzer. No good. 3 shots by Columbus. Boy, there wasn't any rebounders in there for the Indians. So at the end of 3, 52-45, 7-point lead for the Titans. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're with St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Oh, I think we lost it, Mike.
Yep, it's dead.
Huh?
It's dead.
Oh. Well, here's a charger right here. I didn't know that. I thought it was about to time us out.
No, it's dead.
Sorry. Everybody listening on the live stream got a little
Here, I got
phone
it. I'll just
problems
call
here.
him on
All right. Thought the beeping minute was about to time us out
No.
on the call, but I guess the battery was about dead.
Yep. Sorry about that, Mark. We're back.
All right, whenever you are. We're ready when you are. Welcome, everybody. Apologize for that. 8 minutes left on the clock. Start of the fourth quarter. Columbus 52, Indians 45. St. Paul will start with possession of the basketball. See if the Indians can put together a fourth quarter here and keep clawing into this Columbus lead. On the floor for the Indians, Chandler Bradshaw, Hayden Smith, Easton Dent, Adam Albertini, and Caleb Lemons, and it goes off of Albertini's hands and out of bounds and goes back to the Titans. So the Indians start with a turnover to start this fourth quarter. Cassidy with the basketball, right wing to Schallenberger. Schallenberger gets a screen from Stover, swings it around. Now Cassidy at right wing with it. Double team, feeds it back to Midget. Midget shot up and in. 9-point lead for the Titans. Lemons with the basketball at left wing, guarded out there by Cassidy. Man-to-man defense applied by Columbus. Bradshaw with the basketball. Got a little height advantage on Midget. He goes to the hole off that left side. Off to Hayden Smith, over to Lemons. Lemons dribbles to his right around the double team, all the way down the baseline, swatted out of bounds, but it's going to be fouled. He's going to be fouled from behind by Saporito, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. As Lemons goes to the line to shoot two. Coach Watrick and the Columbus coach, or Coach Watrick having a little fun with the Columbus coach, as it seems to be the same guy that called that foul on Saporito. It's a pretty good block. It's going to be out on Columbus either way, as Lemons misses his first. He settles in for his second. It's on its way and off. No good. Dent's trying to chase it down, and it's going to be out on the Indians. Schallenberger set to put the ball in play for the Titans. 7 minutes left to go in the game. 9-point lead for the Titans, 54-45. Indians fought hard to get that down to 7 in the third. Schallenberger drives the baseline. Cut off down there. A wide open shot by Hosier. Smith ends up on the ground. Cassidy with the basketball. Drives towards the rim. Hesitates. Off the backboard and good. 6:37 left to go in the game. Now back up to 11-point lead by the Titans. It's going about like the girls' action. The girls try to claw their way back into it. Now knocked out of bounds by Cassidy. Stays with the Indians with 6:29 left to go in the game. 11-point lead for the Titans. Albertini with the basketball, feeds it into Smith. Smith in traffic, spin in front of the rim, no good. Fights for his own rebound. Boy, they're going to call that on Hayden.
They're going to call it on Hayden, I believe. Doing everything he could.
I'm not. Nope,
that's
it's going to be on
for
Hayden Smith. Is that going to be his fifth? That is his fifth foul, as Hayden Smith just fouled out of the game. 17 foul on the Indians, fifth on Smith. Murillo checks back into the game for him. Smith fouls out with 6:23 left to go in the game. Cassidy with the basketball. Back, shot on the way, no good. Murillo fights for the rebound, comes down with it. A shot put up by Saporito. Bradshaw up to the free throw line. Contested shot, but he's going to get fouled underneath. He's going to go line shoot two. That foul is going to be on Midget, number 35, Landon Midget, the young freshman, as Bradshaw will go to the line to shoot two. Indians need to make every one of their free throws down the stretch with the clock stopped, as Bradshaw gets the roll on the first. Back to a 10-point lead for Columbus, 56-46. I look for Adam Albertini to heat things up here right quick, Mike. He's been pretty quiet here of late. Bradshaw with his second long, no good. And that should have been over the back on Murillo, but it wasn't. Secured by number 5, Saporito, off to Schallenberger. He's picked up by Albertini. There's knocked out of bounds off of Lemons. It'll stay with the Titans. Good hustle by him trying to get in the passing lane. 56-46, 10-point lead for the Titans with 5:54 left to go in the game. Midget feeds it into Schallenberger. Schallenberger back to Midget. Floater on the way. Long, no good. Gets his own rebound to Cassidy. All the way. Floater on the way, and he gets it from the baseline. He's a pretty salty basketball player. Lemons with the ball, back up to a 12-point lead for the Titans. Stripped out of his hands. Dent ends up with it. Boy, all kinds of contact. No call made. And Stover comes out there with it. Midget all the way to the rim, and it's going to be a block on Dent. That's going to send Midget to the line to shoot 2. Cassidy's going to end up with 40 points on the night if we ain't careful.
He's got a bunch.
A little sweat on the floor as they stop play for a minute as Midget goes to the line to shoot 2. 58 to 46, 12-point lead for Columbus. Midget to the line to shoot 2. As we are set for play again, as they got the sweat wiped up off the floor. First shot on its way and good. As he settles in for his second. It's on its way and good also. Back up to a 14-point lead for Columbus. 60 to 46. Albertini all the way to the rim. Short, but he's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
It's going to be on Shallon. No, it's not. It's on Saporito. That's his 4th.
19 foul on Columbus. 4th on Saporito. Albertini's first free throw is right up and through there. Hoser back to scores table. He checks in for Saporito.
It's just Albertini's first free throw try of the game.
Albertini settles in for his second. It's on his way short. No good. Dent with a rebound. Dent spins in front of the rim. Putback is good. Timeout, Coach Watrick. Full timeout. 60-49, 11-point lead for Columbus. 5:09 left to go in the game. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. It was St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Billy Fager Fieldhouse. St. Paul trails by 11, 60 to 49. 5:09 left to go in the contest. Columbus basketball coming out of that timeout. Coach Watrick with a quick timeout. See what kind of changes he made coming out of that timeout. Give the boys a little bit of a breather here down the stretch. Schallenberger left wing. A little bit of 2-3 zone applied by the Indians now. Cassidy off to Hoser. Hoser to Stover. Stover back to Hoser. There's a little bit of boxing one going on as Chandler Bradshaw chasing Cassidy around. Schallenberger with the basketball. Out to Murillo. Stover with it. Feeds it back to Schallenberger. Schallenberger to his right. Boy, he carried it. Hit it against the side. How could he not see that?
Especially this guy.
It was obvious as day that he pinned it against the side. Cassidy with it to his right. Schallenberger back to Cassidy. They're just playing a little keep away now. Schallenberger into Stover. Shot up. No good, but he's fouled by Dent. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. .11 lead for Columbus. Stover to the line to shoot 2. 16 foul on the Indians. Third on Easton Dent, the senior. First shot on its way off the rim. No good. Stover settles in for his second. On its way and in and out, no good. Murillo secures the rebound for the Indians. Feeds it back to Bradshaw. 11-point lead for Columbus. 4:18 left to go in the game here at Billy Fager Fieldhouse. Late night here in St. Paul after 10 o'clock hour. pull-up shot by Lemons,
Oh,
no
that was
good.
a good shot.
Ball's loose on the floor, and that's going to be a jump ball, boy. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession error goes to Columbus. They're having trouble with the possession arrow light. I think it malfunctioned. Now they're going to stop play. One guy had a jump ball, and it's going to stick with the jump ball. And they're going to go with possession arrow is going to go to Columbus. Saporito checks back into the game for Stover. Cassidy with the basketball, fed in from Midget. Schallenberger with it, feeds it back to Cassidy. Cassidy gets Bradshaw, swatted away by Lemons. Boy, he's got some leaps, so Lemons does. Cassidy with the basketball down to baseline.
They called Dent for a little bump there.
For a bump, forced foul on Dent. That's going to send Cassidy to line shoot front end of the 1-and-1. Patrick Cassidy at the line to shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. 17 foul on the Indians, fourth on Easton Dent. Cassidy's free throw is on its way and rattles home good. Back up to a 12-point lead for Columbus. Cassidy, second free throw on its way and through there. Albertini with it, feeds it to Bradshaw. 3:46 left to go in the game. Back up to a 13-point lead for Columbus. Not much movement by the Indians here on offense now. Lemons with it. Lemons top of the key, back to Albertini, three-point shot off the rim, short, got a couple bounces, wouldn't crawl over, and it goes to Columbus on the rebound. And that's going to be saved in by Stover. Good save by him. Saved it right to Saporito, who's under the basket, wide open for a layup. Albertini right back down with a shot from the elbow, partially blocked. Saporito with the rebound. Columbus right back down with the basketball. They lead by 15 now, getting out of hand for the Indians. Midget with the basketball. Fed to Cassidy. Cassidy to his left, now back to his right. Up top to Schallenberger, back to Cassidy. Cassidy back to Schallenberger, almost stolen by Albertini as he chases it. Now swatted away, now ball's loose. Albertini comes up with it. Good hustle play, and he gets it blocked from behind by Schallenberger, but it's out on Columbus and goes back to the Indians.
Timeout Columbus.
Timeout Columbus, 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You know, St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. .240 left to go in the game. 64 to 49 is a Columbus lead. St. Paul Indian basketball under their own rim. Albertini with the basketball. Set to put it in play. Feeds it into Dent. Back to Albertini. Shot from the baseline off the side of the backboard. No good. Schallenberger feeds it back to Cassidy. 2:30 left to go in the game. 15-point lead for Columbus. Down to Midget. Midget.
That'll be it for
Dent.
Dent.
A foul for Dent. He's just fouled out of the game. 2:23 left to go in the game. Easton Dent picks up his fifth foul. He picked up 3 of them in about the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. 18 foul on the Indians. And that's going to send Saporito to the line to shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. Austin O'Hara comes to the scorer's table for Dent. You know, if they frustrating part is the ref come over quickly and said give him 15 seconds for a sub. Well, if they didn't want him to take some time to get a sub in, they shouldn't have blew the whistle and called a foul on it.
That's right.
They caused their own problem there. They could have just let this play out and it would have been all fine, but first free throw is right up and through there. If you want to get out of here that quick, then don't be so ticky-tacky.
Keep that clock running.
Short on the second free throw. Rebound comes out to Albertini. 16-point lead for Columbus. Bradshaw with the basketball, right wing. O'Hara comes out to set a screen. Bradshaw spins away off the foot of the kick. Shot off to Schallenberger. Shot by Albertini. Up on its way. No good. Rebound on the backside by Saporito. Saporito feeds it to Cassidy. 2 minutes exactly left to go in the game. 16-point lead for Columbus. No subs to the scorer's bench for either team yet, as this team is well in hand for the Titans of Columbus, where their girls come out victorious
Titans
in the
7
o'clock
tournament
game
this year.
And I believe they did last year too. And he stepped on the line. Hoosier stepped on the out-of-bounds line as he tried to make a move, and it's going to be a turnover and go right back to the Indians of St. Paul. 65-49, 16-point lead, 1:39 left to go in the game. Lemons with the basketball, drives the baseline all the way to the rim. Good off the backboard, tough shot. Caleb Lemons had another good game here tonight. Got in early foul trouble, but he is a fluid scorer also. Good ball movement by the Titans. Up top to Hoosier. Hoosier, Schallenberger at right wing. Off to Midget. Dribbles towards the top of the key. Back to Schallenberger, back to Cassidy. 1 minute left to go in the game.
They wouldn't give him the 5. Coach Waltrich wanting the 5-second count, saying
Cassidy with the basketball, dribbles to his left. 55 seconds left to go in the game. And that's going to be a bump foul on Albertini. It's going to send Cassidy to the line, shoot the front end of 1-1. 19 foul on the Indians, 9 on Columbus. First on Adam Albertini of the night. First foul on Adam. He's played hard. He's wore out. You can tell he is tired. Subs come to the bench for Columbus. 4 subs set to check in for the Titans. 52.6 seconds left to go in the game.
Cassidy sank that first free throw. If I count right, I think that's 36 points for that young man tonight. Quite a show.
Patrick Cassidy has had a well of a ball game as Peyton Norris, Kaiser Watrick, Landon Beechner comes to score tables for the Indians. Give Adam Albertini and Chandler Bradshaw a big hand. They've played hard. Is Columbus a little bit too much to handle as Caleb Lemons also checks out of the game. So into the game for the Indians is Murillo, Norris, O'Hara, Beechner, and Mason Winter. Murillo comes out. 52.6 seconds left to go in the game. 67-51, 16-point lead for the Titans. Watrick with the basketball, left wing, feeds it up top to Winter. Winter, three-point shot, long three-pointer, no good. Peyton Norris, rebound, put back, no good. Rebound to Columbus. That is Hamilton with the rebound. Feeds it off to number 24. That is Fontanez with the basketball, guarded out there by Winter. He hands it off to number 23, Fontanez. And he gives it back to Hamilton. 22 seconds left to go in the game. Columbus is going to come out victorious over the Indians and sweep the Indians preseason tournament. Big surprise of the night is the Columbus girls coming up on top of the Indian girls who've been playing well of late, just not tonight. And that's going to be your ball game, folks. 67-51 is your final score. Mike's going to have all of the post-game stats after this 1 minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.